All right, so we actually do got a question this week, since we didn't have one last week because we were just starting out.
Cool.
Okay, question 1. What do you most wish to find in Dammerhall? And yes, that's assuming you do get there for any naysayers among
An elevator. I guess for Fergis, it would, at this point, it would probably be a purpose, because right now he's just kind of being strung along.
Abstract, I like it.
Every time I look at Cope's character's name, it's so fucking long on this token.
Oh, yeah. Did I?
Oh, yeah, I can change that.
I think I reduced that on the actual, combat map. Let me see, hold on.
I imagine that would overlap with a lot of enemies if he's in the same line.
Yeah, I remember, I think I fixed it in between sessions, or I thought I did.
Go big or go home, man.
While we're waiting for Loki, I found out that the better way for me to keep track of health when I'm using monsters is to add the damage together until it reaches the total rather than subtract from it.
Oh, that's really good.
I have a paper sheet. So you did 6 damage. Next turn you did another 6 damage. Then you did 5 damage, and then you just calculate it up until it reaches their total. I don't know, it works better for me because trying to keep subtracting, especially when Roll20 doesn't like to work sometimes.
Yeah.
You just have to remember to subtract all of their damage resistances and things from their total.
Oh yeah, I just do that in my head. And so if they had 5, I'd be like, okay, they took 6 damage. Well, that'd be 1.
Once again, beauty of 5th edition. Have.
Yep.
I think Thrum's answer would be 2-part. 1, it'd be nice to find a throne to substantiate all of this. But 2, a deeper skill. He would like to uncover what gave him the vision and what is driving him there.
Okay.
So we said we're waiting for Loki, right?
Yeah.
I think this also just helps give people some chance to think what their characters.
Oh yeah.
Say. Mine was pretty easy. That was actually something I was thinking about before. Why he would even because he could just run away if it wasn't for the fact that he has some investment in this. The nice thing about being a rogue is if he wanted to hide and get away from you guys, he probably could.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me. I made a mistake in a ruling last session. When you guys were looking for traps, I was having tracks, not traps, tracks. I was having you roll perception. That should have been survival, so that's on me.
It happens. New system. Who dis?
Yeah. For many of you, survival was probably a better stat. So.
New system. Who dis?
Yeah, that's kind of the main thing survival is used for.
Yeah, that and gathering food in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I actually have survival. I forgot about that. I decided to take that over sleight of hand.
Yep, that's fair. You're probably going to be picking less pockets.
Yeah.
If a hunter would need that skill, it's probably survival.
So, outside Loki, just Taskill.
Well, I thought Freya didn't say anything yet. For Michael. Unless I missed
it to Gombo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only thing that really springs to mind would be the legendary forges of the mountain home.
Very valid.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That sounds a lot better.
Yep, had to grab something with a boom rather than just a Bluetooth headset, pretty much.
Yeah, that always helps.
Yep. So, sorry, I missed the question. What was the question?
What do you most wish to find in Dammerhall? Could be literal, could be abstract. We've had it all across the board with some answers here.
I think the lost technologies of the great dwarves of old.
All right. Good to go. So does anyone need a recap of what happened last time?
I'm not sure if everyone saw, but I did type up the recap of what happened the last session.
That's when we did our short shot. I had August type up the
recap. And then it gets a bit fuzzy.
Sorry
I'm pulling up the document right now, so I can just kind of give the summary real quick.
Yeah, read it to us in character.
I'm not good at narration of that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the group of us met up with Thrum outside of a tunnel to the deep, the Underdark. We all went down the tunnel for several days. Eventually, the tunnel itself widened out. We went through, going technically on the map. If we were to look at it that way, it would have been east instead of going west. We came across a wagon wheel that was left over from an attack that the Siskrel, I think I typed it right.
Skizral, yeah.
Skizral. Giant spider-like creatures with sentience and other than just animalistic. We met with Naivy Ivy, who told us about the attack, having her accompany us to rescue her people. We proceeded to we found them, made our way up, got jumped. Our cleric almost went down. Our warlock almost went down. We managed to kill him. Spoke with the deep-gnome. The sheriff turned out to be dead. We learned that of the region known as the Fungal Jungle and a fortress beyond it known as Vothis or Vothis.
Yeah, they didn't give a pronunciation guide for that, so I think it's Vothis because it's got like a little squiggly line underneath it on. So, yeah. I don't know.
Either way, but that's pretty much the summary of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be better at that.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much everything.
Yeah. I got really bad at that with Way of the Wicked, and I want to try to get back to actually keeping track and notes.
Also, I'm a big fan of the in-character recaps.
Yeah.
I'm really just typing those up myself. I'm going to keep doing that, but it's also a good way to keep track of what I need to know.
I did that for the 40k short shot when I was playing August.
I might do it for Richard's Pathfinder campaign, because my character's literally going to be carrying a book and writing everything down. Like a story.
I will not be doing recaps or reminding you guys of what's happening between sessions. I'm going to leave you guys to decide what notes you're keeping, because I already have enough on my mind when I'm doing that.
It's totally fair. So, where we left off, you all just got down from the two Skizral's lair. You've got about, I believe it's 6 gnomes. Let me check. Sorry, I was zooming out. No, it's you rescued 4 gnomes and it's 5 with Ivy.
Yeah, and the sheriff was one of the 2 dead. I'm pretty sure we loaded their bodies up too, so we can take them for whatever proper burials or whatever. Yeah,
their gnomes are very small and very light, so they're like half a bulk, so it's not going to be a problem.
Yep.
So yeah, as of yet, you all just got back to the cart. You haven't set off yet. So if there's anything you want to do before you leave, it's up to you. I will move you back to this map, though.
I can't see. I'm blind. There we go. I have a kind of scene I want to do with Nolgrim, but it's going to be like as we start moving down the tunnel again. So if anyone has something to do first.
I'm good. Just let me know.
I just wanted to give people options because he said we haven't disembarked yet.
Yeah.
Is the token a giant dwarf face?
It's a dwarven helmet, yeah.
I just noticed that.
Yep.
Nice. So I guess we would just start our way on the road.
Yeah. So what's the... Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, what's the travel situation? Because though the gnomes will, in the future, be able to start walking on their own, they're still kind of worn out right now. So if you're not opposed, they wouldn't mind being in the wagon.
Oh yeah, Fergis is going to let them have it.
They're very light because gnomes are small creatures, so they're naturally less bulk. And they literally just have clothes on them. So.
I imagine the 5 of them and the bodies of the 2 probably much fill up the wagon other than our supplies, and the rest of us are walking, I imagine, unless anyone else is.
Yeah, there's still approximately 460 pounds of room left in the wagon.
And Nolgrim will walk as usual.
So when we do start walking, where would Nolgrim be in relation to the wagon?
We'll probably just walking alongside of it. If there's space.
So around as we start moving around, probably a couple minutes afterwards, Fergus would step in pace with Nolgrim. Do that kind of thing where he wants to talk, but he's kind of not sure how to start the conversation. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of walking silently for a couple minutes.
After a few months, Nolgrim will be like, "Out with it already. I could feel you've got something to say."
He kind of sighs, like, "So we had a close call back there, didn't we?" Kind of points over to wherever Taskill is walking.
Yes, I certainly think so, but it also could have gone a lot worse. But
it could have, but
far closer than my liking.
Yes, it could have gone worse, but it could also have gone better. And I don't know how he would word it, but he'd bring up the whole conversation you had before you'd thrown up the grappling hook and everything. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I know that you guys don't think very fondly or highly of me, but when it comes to matters of stealth, I do know what I'm talking about sometimes, and if we're going to work it together, I would like to at least have people hear me out before we make rash decisions like that. Because if we could have gotten the jump on those spiders, I believe the thing could have gone a lot smoother."
Nolgrim would shrug, but you get the impression that he's kind of thinking on his words for a moment, not dismissing you, just kind of shrug it off for a moment, then say, "I know I am not the most patient, and sometimes I just get lost in the whole, just want to get it over with. And of course I end up paying for it more often than not, but so far I've made it through each time, but I know it's not the best way, but at times I feel the impulse that... I mean, when you hear that they intend to feast on another, I am loath to let it happen without taking some sort of action, and yes, I am not patient." You're just kind of shrugging. That's you get the impression that's kind of as close to an apology as he could muster.
Fergus kind of like do that like awkward pat on the shoulder where he's not quite familiar enough with you to have really that much of a bond. Mm. He's like, "I'm not trying to change how you react, but we have to think about the fact that it's more than just you that's at risk. We could have lost Freya's father over there," pointing to Taskill once again. So if you could at least hear me out before you make decisions, if it happens where you can't and you feel the need to react, I understand, but I haven't been entirely forthright about everything in my past, but to simplify matters, I am quite good when it comes to matters of stealth and subtlety.
You would nod and say, "And to be more to the point, I do not think illy of you. Granted, I certainly find it odd that you don't follow the traditional Dwarven ways, but you've also been away from Dwarven ways for quite a while. Just, the mannerisms are... off-putting is a bit too harsh of a word, but
No, off-putting sounds about right.
No, that's personally too harsh for what I think, but... just unfamiliar, I suppose, not what I'm used to seeing among our kind. But I'm just... My main concern is that you don't seem as keen on leading our kind back to the glory days that brings us here in the first place, and that is, I admit, disheartening.
Well, if I'm going to lead as they seem to want me to, I'm going to be honest, I don't want to return to the glory days. Clearly something went wrong with our glory days. We need to be better than our past, not relive it. Because all it would take is another mistake of whatever happened to the kingdom before, whatever it may have been, and we'll be right back to square one again. I'd like to have something more solid under our foundation.
Then again, at the same time, I do not suspect it was directly our doing or our actions that led to our fall. You could be a mighty kingdom, but all it takes is one powerful outsider to overcome. And he, again, just shrug as they keep walking and say, but I think the glory days are better than what we have now, where we're slowly just rotting away and losing losing what makes us us.
Perhaps. I saw a lot of people in the cities, the human cities, that didn't take kindly to dwarves. I wasn't very well liked there. I was more used for my skills, but perhaps there's going to be a healthy medium we can reach, but that'll remain to be seen at this point. And he kind of nods, and before he speaks anymore, he kind of just wanders back off again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I had.
Okay.
All right. Probably around the time this conversation is wrapping up, you notice that off to like the side of the tunnel that you're going on, there's kind of like this small obelisk-like waystone carved out of what looks like it was a stalagmite that's got some gnomish writing with arrows on it.
You said gnomish, not undercommon?
It's gnomish.
Okay.
I would call out, "Oi, Ivy, get out here!"
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Kind of point to the obelisk.
Oh yeah, it's one of the waystones. Just like thinking of the word in Dwarvish, road signs.
I just realized the Eldritch invocation I took is Eyes of the Runekeeper. I could read all writing.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice.
So you can read it too, Nolgrim.
Mm-hmm.
It reads, it has a direction you're going. It says 5.5 days to Fastervault, and then it points down the direction that you're leaving from, and it says 9 days to Kadervault and 32 days to Vodenhammer.
If I could get some type outs of what those names are spelled like.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it right this second. I'll probably ask you again.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, later on when I'm typing up my thing, I might send you a message be like, "What the fuck are these names pronounced like?"
Yeah, no problem.
So the one that they came from, the one we're heading back to, which one is that though? It's the one that's the 5 miles?
Yeah, Fastervault.
Okay. I don't exactly know how fast the wagon would be. How long would 5 hours travel or 5 miles travel be?
It's 5 days. So
5 days? Okay.
Roughly, it's assumed that they're most... Thrum could probably tell you that most Underdark travel is by foot. So if they say 5 days, it's probably about the pace you're going.
Okay.
So you guys just going to press on for the rest of the day?
I'm fine. Unless...
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm doing all the talking. I don't want to just keep saying stuff.
You're the leader. Welcome to the role.
But that's the thing. He's the leader in name only at this point. Pretty sure Thrum is the one that's technically in charge.
I think he's probably just the loudest.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand. Have you not seen our political parties?
Yeah. True.
All right. So as you guys go to settle in after traveling for a while longer, how do you want to... I assume you're going to just keep the same watch schedule.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I would, when we were setting up camp, I would tell the gnomes that I have a magical alarm set in the wagon if they wish to stay in there and sleep. We'll remove the bodies, obviously, that are the dead gnomes, so they can sleep without, that issue.
Yeah.
But it would probably be the safest for them inside, because anything that would go in would trigger an alarm that other than them and us. So, in terms of safety, if they want to be careful, they're welcome to stay in there.
Yeah, Krieg Oftenstein is very appreciative for that. He's kind of speaking for the others. Though all the gnomes agree that they were at least want one gnome to help you out on watch, just like an extra pair of eyes to help out. It has nothing that they completely trust you. It's just that they were just trying to chip in rather than just being carried.
I hope they trust us. We just saved them.
Oh yeah, no. If you guys want, you can do insight rolls to kind of get like a feel for the gnomes, if you like.
I'll do that.
Boom.
Well,
Both sides of the board there. Anyone else, or is that all it's going to be?
I don't think.
Nolgrim's
Yeah.
not going to look.
Okay.
We're not going to delve too deep into it.
it seems like something Fergis would try to check out and see what their temperament is, because
Yeah. All right. So, Freya, they seem cool. That's all you got. Taskill, Fergis, like I said, they're definitely like very grateful, and you guys are like 100% in their trusted category. The whole me mentioning that them helping out the watch is just because they're militia themselves, so it feels like they're actively contributing. If anything, they seem more like they're worried about stuff that's going on back in their village. And that's kind of weighing on them. But with your natural 20, Fergus, you are also, it's subtle, but it's something that you could pick up on because you might have some experience with this, in that they kind of like make an almost pointed case of not interacting with Ivy a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they dislike her or like hate her or anything like that.
She's the outlier of the group.
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to say, since they're asking that, I would suggest that since I can communicate with Ivy by myself, that she stay on watch with me, and then Kidge maybe stay on watch with whoever speaks Undercommon, which I think is Nolgrim.
Yeah.
That way there's some communication happening.
You also get the impression that they all understand Dwarven. It's just some of their spoken is like a little rough around the edges.
Yeah. But in terms of like being able to quickly communicate in case there's an emergency.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I mean, honestly, if that's the case, that maybe have the dwarves also, since there's 5 of them and 5 of us, just double up on watches a gnome per each of us.
Yeah. That's definitely easy done.
That way they can feel like they're included with it and they're not entirely dependent on us.
Oh, yes. Also, those 2 barrels that you guys grabbed from their wrecked cart, kind of without just saying anything, when mealtime comes on, they pop it open. And they're actually filled with like these salted cave fish. They're these really long, skinny silverfish with like the silvery fish. With like these big, milky white eyes and long catfish feelers.
Yes, ghost fish. I too have played Stardew Valley.
I just made that up. I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, they're subterranean fish, and that appears to be what their rations were.
Gotcha.
So they're going to be eating that, so they won't really be taking anything from your guys' food supply. For I believe Koph's keeping track of that.
Yep. Have we spent a night yet?
This is our first night after the session.
Yes.
Okay. Cope would, Thrum would. So this really tall, bald human appears. No, Thrum would approach Ivy Nivy and say, at some point when she is...
Cope, I'm going to let you finish, but your entire description of Cope was wrong. You say very short, not bald, not human.
So, Thrum would find some time when she's not talking to anybody else and come up and say,
That's pretty easy.
Yeah. Ivy, you mentioned something earlier about the new lord in Fastervault. Fastervault. And something about the drow being interested?
Yeah. She takes a bite from one of the fish. The gnomes are just like eating them raw, like sushi, basically.
Ugh.
They're salted. You can do that.
Yep.
Also, when they're that bony, it's easier. They're not going to stew them by lighting a fire. She goes, yeah. Well, let me check my notes. Oh, yeah. There's been a recent kind of, well, recent as in the last couple of years, change of power in Fastervault with a new lord over the town. Gurney Gearson, he speaks the truth but slowly.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
He's now over Fastervault?
Yeah, he's the lord. His father passed away a couple years back.
And have the drow been giving you any problems?
I mean, Lord
So-
Gurney doesn't think so, but that's the problem.
To jump
He's,
out of character, or drow, I mean, is it like open war with drow? Would Thrum know that, or do they...
I mean, pretty much most dwarves and drow try to kill each other on sight.
Yeah. Okay, so that's still normal.
Most surface people's experience with drow is when they bust up to the surface at night and capture slaves and drag them back underground. They're famous demon worshippers. They're not good people, but they're tricksy.
All right. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure that flavor is still the same in your world.
Yeah, no, I'm playing it pretty straight in that regard. She says, yeah, no, Gurney's, well, he's not the sharpest pickaxe in the quarry. He's the king of chumps, if you ask me.
So, have y'all had any contact with the drow?
Couple. Few traders coming in, wanting to buy some of what people haul out of the quarry in Fastervault. Lots of marble, mainly.
Ah, so you're miners.
They are. She's just to the other gnomes.
Tell me about Fastervault. How does what's the economy like?
Well,
And he's speaking in Undercommon.
yeah. We grow mushrooms, we catch fish, we eat both of those things. Lots of people dig up lots of marble, and occasionally a trader comes along, and we sell it to them for whatever we need. Mostly barter.
Ah, very good. Good marble?
The best, if you ask the quartermaster, the foreman, but I'm not in the know about that as much.
Very good. And with that, he'd say some niceties and then kind of bobble off.
All right. So, if there's anything else, you can go into the watches, which nothing bad happens. Looking at your passive perceptions, so it's all good. Let me reveal the next area because you guys are moving to it.
During our travels for the next day, by the way,
Yes.
for the foreseeable future, one of the things that Fergus is actually kind of curious about is if there's anything that grows down here that isn't like that resembles like berries or anything else. It's very small chance that anything underground would be like that. But he's kind of curious about something, so he's gonna like whenever he's like they're passing by anything that looks like growth of any kind.
Yeah, these particular caverns are very barren.
No, I know. I'm just saying for any foreseeable future, that's one of the things he like. I don't want to say anything yet because I have ideas in my head. But one of the things he'd be looking for is any kind of thing that resembles any kind of fruit, berry, anything like that.
Yeah. All right, new day. If there's nothing else, we could just speed forward to the next one if you'd like. I'll take that as that there's nothing else then.
Yeah. Day 7. Not only do I have to contend with the dwarves are in my group, I now have gnomes. I've developed a curious case of gnomes.
So we go forward another day. So hope you're keeping track. Whoever's taking care of the food.
That's Cope's job.
Yep.
Yeah, just point out whenever we've had another day.
Because each of these hexes is a day, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we've traveled 8 days since the beginning of the campaign so far.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, we've been down here a week. I can't remember what the sun looks like anymore.
Isn't it a great feeling?
He starts hyperventilating.
How do we know there's gonna be enough air?
Oh god, I need to stop breathing so hard. I'm gonna breathe all the air. Oh god, I can't stop. No. He's a little annoyed that he's underground, but he's not like panicking.
Mm-hmm.
You miss colors.
Pretty much. I was actually gonna say that.
Yeah.
He really misses color.
So on this day, as you guys are coming down the tunnel, there is a very, very small offshoot tunnel It's almost like a crack in the wall. You guys would have to like sidle through it, and like your back and stomach would be scraping against the sides to get through it.
Thrum's gonna halt the party and do a little survival check near the ground over there, looking around, checking the walls, looking for signs of wear in the entry, any of that.
And Fergus is going to ask Nivy if she knows what the deal is with the tunnel.
Yeah, while Thrum is going to check it out, she like goes to open her mouth, but then it was actually I'm spacing on names today. Krieg, who answers for her, who's right there, because that's one of the lesser passages to Fastervault. It's probably the most direct way to get there, though your wagon won't fit. If it's all the same to you, Master Dwarves, we think we might take that passage to get back to tell them about the sheriff's demise.
I suppose I don't object to that. Does anyone else?
Do an insight.
Yeah.
Thrum, you're examining the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to think about doing an inside, but if I could.
Sure, but real quick, Thrum, so with that 22 survival, you do notice the faint foot traffic of little gnome feet, but you also know a few larger and lighter prints, just for like frequent wear and tear, that might very well be drow. Slightly daintier than human.
He would have a
They don't look
bonus to
recent.
deciphering that, as that's one of his favorite enemies.
Yeah, definitely. Then you're sure it's drow.
Nolgrim to the gnomes would say, just don't go chasing any more spiders. That's may not be there to save you the next time.
Appreciate it, and we would be very grateful if you could, and he gestures to the two gnome bodies, bring these to Fastervault as well. I'm sure it would be very worth your time to come there. You could refill on supplies. One of us should probably stay with you to help guide you through the tunnels. He like looks back on his group, but then there's like immediately Ivy's hand shoots up. She goes, "I'll do it. I'll guide them."
She'll do it. We like her. She'll work.
And he gives you a small look and then shrugs, goes, "Very well. That's fine."
And rest assured, I will take good care of the dead and make sure they return to their place of rest.
We appreciate that, Master Dwarf.
Imagine Thrum would step over at this time and see them taking their stuff off the wagon.
Yep.
What's going on?
They're taking stuff off the wagon, so maybe someone else.
Nolgrim will say they are taking the shortcut back home.
I'm back.
Laddies, that might not be a good idea. Nosing about over there, there were some drow prints and markings. I think they're traveling down that passage.
They probably are, but that'll shave days off of our journey. If not a week.
At the risk of shaving years off your life?
With all due
In
respect.
character laugh.
Yeah. With all due respect, it's our home that's at danger. We need to get the news back as swiftly as possible.
And then swift travels, my friends.
I'm sure we can all understand that.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for the rescue. We hope we have the ability to repay it in the near future.
Do they all have weapons and stuff, by the way?
They have they're statistically war picks, but they're just like sharpened pickaxes.
Okay.
That they were separated from them in the spider's lair, but they don't really have armor. They just have those pickaxes, so they could defend themselves.
Yeah. Okay, I was just making sure they had some kind of weaponry.
Yeah. Cridge, who's kind of their lead, seems to have become the de facto leader, like extends the arm for one of like those forearm handshakes before he sets off.
No one else does it. Fergis will shake. Thinks to himself, finally, someone who has the same strength as me.
Yep. What's your strength?
That's a good question. I think it's 10.
Okay, yeah, then you're the same strength as him. If you had 8, then I was gonna say actually he's a little stronger.
Oh God, no! Magic must fix this. But yeah, I would tell him best wishes. Hope he gets there safely. We'll see him shortly. Yada yada.
Yeah, he nods. Stone be watching over you. And then, without further ado, they gather up their barrels and, well, one of the barrels. They leave the lower of the two with you, and then they head off down the tunnel. They because they're small, they have a little less of a hard time than you would with it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I always forget that gnomes are small.
Yeah, it actually for a dwarf it does not seem as bad.
But compared to like a human, they're definitely
they're much narrower in frame than you, but dwarves are around like 5 feet. Gnomes are like 3'8", 4 feet. So it's
also we're a lot stockier. Like even Fergis being a skinny bitch for a dwarf is pretty broad comparatively.
Oh yes, though deep gnomes like these are probably on the slightly bulkier side of gnomes, but still much.
Because they're similar to like rock gnomes in terms of build.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. With gray skin.
Yep.
What was that gnome's name again?
Kidge often seen.
Kidge often seen.
Kidge. Thrum, as he's moving some stuff around on the wagon to get it resituated, as they walk off and say, "There lies the grave of Kridge. He was a gnome like you, not like me. He died at the age of 103. For 13 long years he kept his virginity. Not a bad record for this vicinity."
Wait. What?
Ivy's right there, and she's like, "That is both morbid and hilarious."
He'll walk into his death.
I would very much like you to tell that to his widow when we get to Fastervault.
Is she good looking?
Probably not the best person to ask, but
I imagine Thrum can't be picky.
yeah.
In character, spoken out loud.
It's either him or it's either her or the yak.
He stays in the wood. Yeah, he stays underground for a long time by himself, so...
Yeah.
I mean, his partner is literally a yak.
Hisky.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be a rabbit.
I really
So
wanted to bring that back in.
Brought it home. Yes.
At this point, Ivy hops up, sitting on the back of the yak. She goes, "So, you all want the good news or the bad news?"
I'm a bad news first kind of guy.
Well, the bad news is the journey's going to have to be a little bit longer than the road marker said. The most direct route is through the Needle's Eye, about 2 days down the tunnel. Now, it's normally not too bad, as it's a wide tunnel that just narrows out for about a section about 3 feet that only one person could go through at a time. But with, she pats the ox and then gestures to the wagon. All this, it's a little difficult. So we'll have to go the long way round.
He's gonna do a
So wait, what's the good news?
insight.
The good news is we get to spend more time together and bond. She's clearly saying it like a joke. And
No, I was going to say, Fergus looks at his family, looks at her, looks back at his family, goes and sits in the seat near where she is, away from his family.
Thrum, you're pretty sure she's telling the truth.
Okay.
I mean, what possible motivation would she have for deceiving you?
He's just very...
Yeah, I'm just saying what your interpretation might be. So because Kenneth hasn't spoken in a while, how's Taskill doing?
Mostly just trying to keep his guard up because, you know, we're in the Underdark.
Yep.
Don't know if they were talking about the drow and not Undercommon, but
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Everyone's been just speaking in undercommon. Well, Ivy gave the good news, bad news in her Dwarven, since there seems to be a language barrier. So you at least heard that.
Mm.
A lot of the time, I've been just operating on the assumption that anyone who speaks Undercommon has been translating for the group of us. Because I can't speak Undercommon either. I speak Elven. So if we come across some Drow, I can hear what they're calling names at us.
Yep.
Character choices. Not optimized at all.
As can I.
What about Freya? What has she been doing the entire time?
Going to the bathroom.
Just the entire time.
Yeah.
Yep.
She tried to eat some of that fish. Turns out she's allergic.
Michael came back like halfway through the gnomes leaving. So
Yeah, I'm probably just warning them about the slimy dark elves.
Is there any other kind? Like, no, really. I don't think she's probably ever seen an elf that's not a dark skinned.
Oh, no, she's probably never seen a dark elf, but you guys know Freya's a pretty nice person, but when she talks about dark elves, it gets like, ooh, Grandpa started talking about Mexicans.
Yes, you go. Oh God, what happened in there?
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
I love that so much.
So much.
What is that from?
That's a parody of one of the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoons where they literally played card games on motorcycles.
So they just
literally-
made it a meme.
They just drove around a race card playing a trading card game. It's like it made no sense, even when they were trying to take it seriously.
I'm back.
All right.
Another clue that the end of times are coming. Power surges, all that good
I
stuff.
wish God would just hurry it up if he's going to end the world already.
It's the waiting I can't stand.
Like plague of locusts, wars between Russia and Saudi Arabia.
You see, back when we used to have plagues, they would just kill the firstborn child. The one plague I'd probably be safe from.
Yeah, it was like one night and it was over.
Hmm?
Let's move along.
All right, so you're back on the way then.
I missed the good news versus bad news. I heard the needle's eye, and then boink.
That the needle's eye would be you couldn't easily get the wagon and the ox and the yak through it.
Mhm.
Like you might be able to disassemble the wagon, but the yak would just be a no-go.
Just starve it for a couple days and let it move through.
We'll disassemble the yak too.
Yeah. So you'll have to take the long way around. The good news is, as she jokingly said, we'll have more time to bond.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
How much longer is it?
She starts counting on her fingers. So
And just a heads up, apparently there's a little bit more like fading of the lights every now and then, so I don't know if this will be the last outage or not.
yeah.
Probably not then.
So she counts, says, like 9 days longer.
How many days of rations do we have on our wagon?
By my figuring, at this rate, a little more than 20 days. You said they did leave one barrel of cavefish.
Yeah, they'll probably sustain her till you get there, just to make life easy.
But if we run out completely, there's always the esket.
We've got we got enough rations, and we could restock when we get there.
I mean, if we run out of food, we always have Thrum over there.
Guys, we got 20 days before we need to worry about eating cave leeches.
We've got enough to get there. I agree. We could restock once we get there. No need to rush.
Ivy looks around and goes, I'm sorry, did I hear that right? That dolls are edible? She's looking at the yak. I mean, is that any good?
Oh, it makes a fine meal. That's what her name is. Emergency Survival Kit.
I mean, seems like a little hairy. You have to pick that out as you're going, or?
No, you skin it, butcher it. It'll last for days. That's what the salt's for. Salt it. It's good meat.
I fancy that.
Nolgrim's wondering if he's borderline cannibalistic, since he's willing to sacrifice one of his closest traveling companions, and if once that food reserve falls through, who's next?
Can't eat rocks. Let's get a move on.
Yep. All right. So you march for the rest of the day. So, new day. Feel free to mark that down. I'm keeping track on my end as well. Day 9.
Okay, yeah. I took that food out the night before.
Because you guys are just eating like nuts and cheese mainly, right?
Yep. Hold on, where's my little wagon sheet? There it is.
Yeah, we want our shit to fossilize when it comes out of us.
Yeah, we've got citrus. We've got, what did we decide our citrus was? We started with
lemons or something.
Lemon.
Would be lemon.
Yeah, lemons.
And then nuts, cheese, and Eskett's eating turnips.
Mm-hmm. Just, I like your description, Richard. Now I can imagine as you locked in a cell, and then you're like, I've got an idea. So you just collect all your shit, you put it in a sock, and you swing it like a bludgeon.
And that's why dwarves
Arm
are rocks.
yourselves, men.
Just the guard captain
Rick's
runs to
over
the
here.
commander. Sir, they're beating the shit out of us.
That's why dwarven apes are no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Start throwing shit at you and there's no survivors.
Mm.
The idea that there are dwarven apes.
There's a dwarven cow right there.
Yep. So, probably when you're eating a meal on like this day,
Mm-hmm.
Taskill, you're like you're enjoying your meal,
Mhm.
and you get the distinct impression someone's looking over your shoulder. It's just Ivy right there, looking at what you're eating.
What can I help you with?
What's the? She just points to cheese. What's the white stuff there?
It's cheese. It's made from milk fermented in a special process. Milk what comes from beasts like over yonder. Points at the doll.
Oh, you mean like, yeah? Oh, so it's like rotten, or
In a
Technically, yes.
specific fashion, yes.
she holds out one of her K-fish trade? I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Sure.
Mm.
Could do with the difference.
Turns out we brought blue cheese.
Hey, I like blue cheese.
Yes, but it would be a very traumatic first experience.
Yeah, that's a good question. Taskill, what type of cheese did you bring?
I didn't pack it.
No, sorry, not
It's just-
Taskill. Thrum.
It's American cheese. It's all individually classified.
American singles. That weak ass cheddar.
The
Whatever
only
hard
type of-
cheese would be, I imagine.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know.
I'm just trying to look up types of traveling cheese.
Heir, I guess.
Gouda sounds like a solid dwarven type of cheese.
Gouda.
Gouda cheese.
Yeah, aged Gouda, Parmesan, and cheddar are very common things that were well suited for travel.
Yeah.
So Gouda, it is.
Gouda. Gouda's pretty mild.
Aged Gouda.
One of my favorite cheeses.
It's that one in Munster.
I'm a Havarti guy myself, but that's
I
not
do
bad
like
either.
a party.
I can't eat any of it though because apparently I'm lactose intolerant. So
yeah. So yeah, she samples that. She's liking it. You sample the cave fish there, Taskill?
Mm-hmm.
It's so bony.
A lot of calcium.
Yeah. Like, just a million tiny fish bones.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. So you'd be eating these things whole, huh?
Well, only when traveling. It's a bad idea to light fires out here.
Are they pickled?
No, they're just salted.
Fish jerky.
Basic. The salt is to keep them from decomposing.
Do you eat them bones and all?
No, we try to pick out the bigger bones. I'm not saying it's great, but it's either this or mushrooms, so variety. This cheese stuff is pretty good, though.
Hey, you ought to try an orange. I imagine you don't have much fruit.
Shakes her head. Nope, haven't really heard of that. Man, it's really good.
fruit.
So you said it's made from milk, right?
Aye.
So could you like make cheese from anything?
Stop.
Yes.
I'm not, it's just a valid question.
I feel I know where this is going.
I don't know.
Can I roll a history on cheese?
I'll tell you for this now. They don't make humanoid milk cheese. That is weird.
A bit more of a scholastic. Well, it can be because of this process and this type of. That I think I could see my character going to that if he knows enough about the history of cheese.
Cope, you're fearless. Google human milk cheese for me, would you?
Already on it.
Open up that bookmark.
I mean, you could also just look up breast milk cheese. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
I'm sure it is. I am.
Oh, look. It auto-corrected to breast milk cheesecake.
Ah.
From breast to plate, mommy's milk cheese recipe.
I looked up breast milk cheese. One of the first things to come up is a sponsored ad for fetus soap.
This is a dark hole we're going
Oh,
down.
they've been making cheese since 5500 BC.
Yeah, it's very old food. It literally happened when you let cheese go bad. So it's.
Well, actually,
Let's get off of
Yeah.
there's an enzyme called rennet that's needed, and that's actually from animals' digestive tracts. It's theorized that they were storing milk in cured animal stomachs, and it went weird, and they're like, well, this is weird. I dare you to eat it.
That conversation probably happened in Undercommon in 5500 BC.
So, ending that intentional awkwardness, day 10.
Around day 10, how long would Ivy say that we have till we reach the settlement? Like, how many days out would she
About
average?
9-10 days if taking the long route. If you leave Eski and disassemble the wagon, you could take the route through Needle's Eye, and you could be there in probably 2 days from this point.
Nah. I imagine we're going to need our wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I advise us keeping the wagon as long as we can.
So
I mean, if any of some of you are pretty crafty. You could probably disassemble the wagon and then reassemble it on the other side.
but it would be leaving the animal behind, which would be the problem.
Yeah.
There's
We're already doing this. Let's ride it out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in just having a wagon that nothing will pull.
Just tie the strongest person to the end of it. Mush. Yeah, like whip crack.
Well, if we had reduced person.
Always the magical solution. All right. Did you guys want to do anything this day, or should we keep moving forward?
We'll ask if, like, what the tunnel systems look like. Like, does he think that we'll be able to continue, like, with the cart? How far?
Currently, these or you're asking Ivy?
Yeah.
She says, well, from my experience and from some people I talked to, this large tunnel that we're on goes quite a long distance, well past Fastervault and the fungal jungle in these wide spaces. The route I'm taking you down to get to Fastervault, it'll get narrower, but the cart should be able to fit no problem. We might not have a lot of clearance on the sides, but traders use that route to get to the Fastervault.
Okay, just making sure. Want to know when we should start thinking about slaughtering the cow?
The what?
The doll.
Oh, right. What'd she say?
Certainly not what this thing is. Also, technically wouldn't be lying there because it's a yak and not a cow. Unless he's talking about one of us, and that's a whole another conversation.
I mean, Freya's the only female dwarf, so...
So I got nothing for this day. We probably continue on as normal.
Yeah.
Thrum would ask Ivy as they're walking to tell him about the fungal jungle.
Sure. She goes, well, I've only been to the outskirts myself, but it's just a massive cavern with just the largest and tallest mushroom stalks and mold spores that you've ever seen. The ceiling of the cavern is so high up you won't see the top of it. And I've been told by some people that have gone into it, traders and the like, that there's apparently a large body of water near its center, too.
Is that where you get your fish from?
No. No, it's like a week and a half or two out from Fastervault. No, we've got a localized stream, a small river running through the town.
Oh. Is there any wildlife in the fungal jungle?
Well, I've heard lots of stories. I haven't seen much myself, but I've heard things.
That's it. I was curious.
Yeah. So, another day 11. Hope you're keeping track of food.
Food coming off?
Yep. You come across a side tunnel breaking off from the main one. It's kind of the same rough size as the tunnel that you guys started out in, where the wagon could fit, but it would just not be a lot of clearance on each side.
Similar to the one we went down?
Yeah. So Ivy points to it and says, that's the way to the Needle's Eye. Last chance.
Thrum's going to get down and do another survival.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess add it to...
I was going to say, can I assist and give him advantage on it?
Sure.
So yeah, Fergis would kind of come up there and help you look around, so you can go ahead and roll a second time, take the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, he's looking for indication on what's been traveling through, and now he's specifically looking for drow as well.
Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. Looking at, it's always very difficult to find prints in the Underdark, but you're specialized in it, so you know what to look for. It's more about like dew, residue, and breakup of some surface sediments and stuff like that. Because sometimes stone in caverns like this can be a little pasty on the surface. It doesn't look like there's been a lot of foot traffic recently. you kind of notice the marks of the wagon that the sheriff and his posse was in, the ones that you rescued, heading out. So they likely did that thing where you disassemble and reassemble the wagon through the needle's eye.
Ah. He'd ask, who's the most, I guess Freya. Thrum would come up to you and say, "Hey there, lassie, with those tools you've got, how long do you think it would take to disassemble the wagon here and put it back together?"
Let's... I guess, is there something I should roll to know?
What tool proficiencies do you have?
Okay. I have tool proficiency in... Where is it? So what I'm looking at, smiths, tinkers, carpenters. I think that's it.
Yeah. I'd have curiosity, what does Taskill have as far as tool proficiencies? Because, I mean, you're dwarves, so you should all have, like, at least one tool proficiency each.
I have calligraphy supplies.
It's still a proficiency.
I got cartographer's tools and mason's tools.
Mm-hmm.
I could draw up the rules of how to disassemble it, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have brewer's supplies.
Gotcha. And, Kenneth, what's Taskill have?
I'm sorry.
Tool proficiencies.
Smith's tools.
Okay, so yeah. So definitely Freya would be taking point on this, but if you want to do it, Taskill could probably help. Roll a just to see how long it would average take. Roll a intelligence plus proficiency bonus because it's factoring in your tool proficiency here.
Proficiency, so...
I think you should be able to. Well, if I look at your sheet, you should be able.
You can
to,
change the modifier.
If you just set your carpenter's tools to intelligence and then you click on it, it should roll it for you.
Oh.
Because Tinker's tools could work too, but it's the same either way, so it's all good.
Okay.
Carpenter's is exactly what you're looking for, though.
And then put in a modifier of 2. You said adding the proficiency bonus?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that should just be all there.
Oh yeah, that's a very nice roll.
It's a spicy roll.
Yeah. Do you by chance actually have carpenter's tools in your inventory? You're proficient with them, but do you have them?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, with your tools, and maybe if everyone helps pitch in, you're fairly certain you could disassemble and reassemble the cart in probably about half a day.
Oh, well then why didn't you speak up, lass? That's definitely better than spending 9 days more travel.
We will have to leave the yak, though, so keep that in mind.
Unless you have a way to squeeze the yak through.
Damn, what's her name? Ivy.
Yep.
Does your settlement have any type of animals that can pull a wagon?
We did have one, but it kind of got
Eaten by the Siskrel?
Yeah.
So if we do this, we won't have a wagon anymore, because we're not going to be able to pull it.
Nah, I was going to say if they had... I forgot what she had said was pulling it. Some kind of like water bug?
It was a giant... I forgot the name of it. It's like a giant... it's like a suit... It's not quite a spider, but it's a giant insect that pulls
A drider.
No, not a drider. Definitely not a drider.
A giant pill bug.
I think it was a strider. Hold on, let me see.
I was going to say if they have any more of those doodle bugs that were pulling the other one, it'd probably be more suited for work down here than old Eskit.
I mean, might have one. I don't know.
I think we would be best off keeping Eskit as in continuing on.
Well, once we get through the needle, how far is it to Fastervault? Is it Fastervault or Hall?
Fastervault. Here, let me write it out for you.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. That's
All right. Once you're through the choke point, how long is it to Fastervault?
about a day.
Hmm.
Half day, maybe, if you're making time.
What do you think, gents?
I would think it's best we keep the supplies we currently have and go the long route.
Yeah. Oh. Who knows? With luck, maybe we'll be attacked by something we can eat. Please don't say I'm going to get attacked by anything that we can eat. I'd rather not get attacked, please.
All right. Just thinking 9 days with these bodies.
Yeah, we might have to give them a premature burial.
Nay, I think it's best we take them home. Smell or no.
Is there a way to maybe we can rig up something that pulls along behind the wagon that can keep the bodies separate from our supplies then?
Can we, wrap them up in anything? Do we have them wrapped
Well, I
up?
imagine they're wrapped up and stuff right now. I thought we had said that we did that.
Yeah, they are wrapped up in some sort of, I forgot what you guys had, but you had something. Really, for dragging them behind you, the issue you're running into right now is just a lack of materials.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're probably going to decompose shortly.
Well, just keep them as much from the air as we can and head on.
What's the temperature like? Because that'll affect how fast it happens.
It's definitely on the cooler side. I'm not going to try to put a number to it because I'll get it wrong. But it's definitely on the cooler side.
That gives us a little more time.
All right, you pressing on?
Yerp.
All right. So, next day. Mark on my notes. This is day 12. So far, it's still mostly a featureless tunnel. Unless there's something special, I was just going to move on to the next day.
I guess this would be a good point for it to kind of do a little break in just the skipping days. Whenever time it would be where Fergis would be sharing the wagon with Ivy, he would kind of broach that subject again, so what do the other gnomes have an issue with you for? I mean, you seem fine to us. I can't imagine it's anything that bad, but I imagine, I don't know, probably like the Dwarves, they probably hold grudges or something. What's going on?
Oh, I have a habit of liberating things. I get a little bit bored with the minor lifestyle of Fastervault, so I like to spice it up for myself.
By the way, I am speaking to her in Steve's camp, just so it would be a private conversation.
I figured.
He would respond to her about how, he's used to doing stuff like that too. He's not exactly had the cleanest record. Though he was never really in the pickpocketing part of it. He was really good at picking locks and keeping up lies and deception parts of it.
Roll me an insight if you would.
Yeah. 13.
All right, let me see here. Yeah. When she's talking about that and you're relaying it to her, you get the impression there might be a little bit more to it than that she's holding back for personal reasons. What she says isn't untrue. It's just that there might be a little bit more.
Yeah. He's not going to push much, but during their conversation, he would let it drop, however naturally it could be. I'm not really good at it.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason, we seem to like you, and you've been upfront with us, so that's all we care about. And if you need anything, just let us know. That kind of business, and then probably continue on from there.
She keeps just trying to bum cheese off you then.
Yeah. He'd probably be trying to be nice and split some of the normal rations and take some of her fish, even though he probably would hate it.
Yeah, it's not even good tasting fish.
No, he would just be trying to be polite.
Yeah.
Steal a turnip from the doll to give to her.
Cope had started.
Let's get bite you.
I mean, to be fair, if the yak doesn't bite me, one of you will. So.
All right.
Biting.
Is guys good to move on?
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure that all the travel days don't bog down the campaign too much.
Yeah, and I apologize. I'm very tired, so I'm not as talkative as I would want them to be.
It's absolutely no problem. I've been dealing with all the shit at work, and when we get on normal hours, all this bullcrap starts.
Yeah, I've been out of it, man. I didn't even know it was Wednesday. I've hardly been out of my house.
If I may take a moment to bitch, what I want is not unreasonable. 8:30 to 5:30, 5 days a week. That's it. Normal work days.
Look, I'm your employee, and I want to come into work.
Yes. I am not. This is not being lazy. This is just wanting normal shit. Just normal days.
5e question. When you aid someone else, do you always give them advantage?
Yeah, usually it has to be reasonable how you're giving them aid rather than a skill thing.
Okay. That's really strong. Mm-hmm. That's so much better than
a +2.
Yeah,
than a +2.
I mean, don't worry. Once we hit level 3, I'll be able to give people advantage at range with my bonus action.
Damn.
Only for a single attack, but
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, wow.
Still.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mastermind, yo.
All right. So this is day, I believe, 13.
Sounds about right.
Anything else? Or are we good to keep moving?
I'm good.
All right.
Now let's keep moving.
Supplies looking thin there. Cool.
I was trying to do the math on 13. I've got it just right. No, I mean, we're solid. We've got, 200 pounds of food left. I pack a good bags, honey.
So on this day, you come across another one of those side tunnels that's just wide enough for the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Ivy hops out and scampers over to go look at it. And comes back to you and go, yep, this is the one that we want right here.
He's going to do survival again. Before we get to where I can't ever roll this again, I'm going to keep doing it while I can.
I'm gonna insight just to make sure.
All right.
Paranoia,
Yeah, she's on the level.
Yep.
You don't really notice any foot traffic through here.
Looks clean.
Plus are used. You ready to keep...
This is the same size as the first one we went through, right?
Yeah, your wagon will fit no problem. You just won't have a lot of clearance on the either side. Maybe a half foot to a foot at any given time.
Woo.
So how we came down the tunnel.
Yeah, so you'll either want to be behind or in front of the wagon.
I'm gonna take the option of being inside the wagon just in case we get attacked by any direction.
Yep.
I have range, so I can fill either gap.
I didn't detect any drow markings around here, but it's best to keep our heads on a swivel.
I think if you put your head on a swivel, you'd die.
Well, then I wouldn't have to worry about the drow anymore.
Just
Freya,
for
very literal.
Yep.
I was just telling Cope, it's not much, but I'm taking 2 arrows out of the wagon just so I can keep my thing maxed out.
Oh yeah, at some point while we're walking through this, did I tell you to access the arrows already?
You talked to me about it because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one going to be using them. So,
but I hadn't talked to you about it yet.
No.
Okay. At some point while we were walking, he would come over and say, "Sonny, I don't approve of the leather and the coat and the trimmed whiskers and the."
Wait, is this a talk about the arrows, or is this a talk about a BDSM fetish? I don't approve of the leather or the straps.
The ball gag.
Ivy who likes to ride on top of the yak, leans over and says, "Please don't hold back. Tell him what you really don't like about him."
I'm honestly not impressed with much you're wearing, but that bow, you were pretty damn good. I used to use a bow and Porka ate it, but I've got a load of arrows back there, and seeing as you're very handy with them, you can take what you need.
Seems fair. I'm trying my best not to get in the right direct line of fire, so bow seems to be right up my alley.
Well, we don't need the future king of Dammerhall going down to a Porka, so yeah, you do what you can.
Is that like a giant pig?
Yes. You'll know it when you see it.
Just starts getting an irrational fear of a giant pig now.
That was it.
Yep. All right. Good to keep moving.
And then Ivy goes, "What's a pig?"
What's a porka? She doesn't actually ask. When you respond with one word and then the other response to that word is it like another word she doesn't know, it's just like, you know what? It's not worth it.
At some point, it's like, like relative to how far these cave systems go, you don't live that far away from the entrance. So really no like pigs at any point just like wander in here.
They might not even know that.
I mean, it's like days down a...
Yeah.
Yeah, they might not know that cave
Seen
leads
how
to
far
the
you've traveled? It's not insignificant.
Mm-mm.
All right. So you're going down this tunnel. The ceiling gets a little low at parts, but it's nothing you have to really worry about too much. Anything else, or are we good to keep going?
I'm good.
All right.
Pretty low to the ground ourselves.
humble.
I don't want to hurry you guys along, but I also don't want this to be featureless tunnel the session.
Right.
I imagine at least there'd be a couple times, by the way, of Fergis trying to light his lantern and being told to put it out before he can even get it going.
Yeah, like the very first time you try to light the lantern, Ivy notices, but then when you go to do that, she just like immediately hides her eyes behind her hood. And then she tries to hide immediately.
Yeah, and then
She
he
knows
would probably...
what light is. She's not a Neanderthal, but
But it hurts them, I'm pretty sure, so...
Technically, it's sunlight sensitivity, so a lantern isn't terrible, but she's also an avid Underdark survivor, so she would also know it's a bad idea.
That'd be like saying bullets kill you, and somebody points a BB gun at you, and you don't know whether it's real or not. So
Yeah.
You're gonna cringe.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm sure at least every time he pulls it out, there'd be someone telling him to put it away, or shirking away like that, so...
It's the only thing you've seen Ivy ever get violent about.
I'd roleplay it more if we were more in the nitty-gritty, but y'all would probably all be getting annoyed at Thrum with him constantly correcting. Stay away from that edge over there. Looks a bit rough, and, no lights. All right, a bit too loud. It's good to talk, but not too loud, and just...
him being the loudest one of the bunch.
Yes.
When she's traveling with you, Ivy's also like trying to use Dwarven as much as possible, like trying to get a little bit of a hang back into it.
I would have asked if we could retcon it a while back that he'd actually also be trying to learn Undercommon from her. That's kind of a preemptive, like trying to start learning how to do that, because he's realizing now he doesn't speak it, and there's probably going to be a lot of people that speak it.
Yeah.
I imagine this isn't going to be like what you would do if you had like downtime kind of stuff, but like him basically getting the grasp of it essentially.
Yeah, good for thematics. Mechanically, it's not counting towards downtime yet. Because
thematically he's doing it. He's trying to learn like keywords, but that's pretty much all he's doing right now.
Also, Project would be very slow if you weren't using Thieves' Cant as a medium, because though she does speak Dwarven, it's not like the most fluent Dwarven. And you're not fluent at all on Undercommon. So probably those lessons to the outside are really freaking weird.
Yeah. Because we'd be jumping between undercommon, thieves can't,
and dwarven. So it would be like house in dwarven, house in undercommon, then blueberry in common, and.
Now, out of curiosity, because thieves' cant is a written language, right?
It's
also a verbal thing too.
It's like speaking Dutch, basically.
Okay.
It's a bunch of innocuous sounding words. Yes, I know. That each of the thieves.
Okay, because if it's anything written, I should, in theory, be able to understand it.
If they wrote it down, you would.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. I feel like thieves' cant is more of like you being able to talk to someone else and then like other people not be able to understand you too, but like talking to someone who doesn't speak the initial language in thieves' cant.
I'm kind of going with it that there's some merchants that pass through the town that Ivy probably picked up some stuff from. Okay. It's always the gray area. Like Druidic is absolutely one of those things that can imagine being universal.
Yeah, it's a secret mix of dialect, jargon, and code. So I still imagine it's not the easiest thing, but
it's still not. Communication's a little janky, but
yeah. And when he's having conversations, I imagine there's like long stretches of them trying to understand what each other are talking.
Yeah,
like there'd be like they'd say a couple words and then try to think in their head what they were saying,
The way
and then continue.
I feel like thieves' cant was meant to be is like, I'm not saying it's wrong. Like I feel like that's a good, like merchants come through and they spread it around so that everyone finds it. But it's like oh, I'm gonna go pick up a Big Mac from McDonald's, and then like everyone's like, oh, they're gonna go pick up a Big Mac from McDonald's, but the two of them
they're gonna rob the bank.
McDonald's actually means the yak attached to our car.
It does say it also takes 4 times as long to convey a simple message. So I'm not sure.
For any of you listening, it's actually super obvious they're speaking in code because it's mostly thieves' cant in dwarven, and her dwarven is very slow, so everything is super janky and out of context for two people talking. So it's pretty obvious that they're not having a normal conversation.
Yeah. But I mean, just because they both know... the reason I was saying... because she knew a little bit of Dwarven, and in the beginning she said she was rusty with it.
Yeah.
I was going with, well, Thieves' Cant is like a code kind of thing, so she might pick up on context clues.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't understand the word 100% or remember the word 100%, but the context of the word she does understand with that word might kind of work together to kind of merge into, like, something she can kind of understand.
Absolutely.
That's how I've been kind of doing it in my head.
Mm-hmm. All right, we good to keep progressing?
I'm good.
All right. So on the 14th day, you guys come to a T intersection, still the same size tunnel. The 15th day. Wow. Turning your cart will be a little bit of a trick, but nothing you need to roll out. So Ivy, in her perpetual favorite mount of being on top of the yak, it's warm. She points. What?
That's a good reason, but
she points this direction. If you guys see my arrow, I don't know how much the.
Yep.
She says, "Okay, that direction's the fungal jungle. This direction's the Fastervault."
Good to know. How far would the fungal jungle be from here? A day's walk.
If you took the shortest path, about a week.
All right.
Of course, if you took the long way up through the Lake of Diamonds, certainly the scenic path, but that's much longer.
Does Fergus's elf ears perk up at the Lake of Diamonds?
Huh? No, he just wants to get to some kind of civilization faster than anything. He wants to see a building, goddammit. It doesn't matter if it's just a underground building. He's probably going to be sorely disappointed. But he just wants to see something, okay?
Please, God. I mean, what is a cave but a big building?
These are
what is the planet except for a large house?
Big living room. These are the halls of our birthplace.
Each continent is just the person living in is the roommate of each one.
I mean, you say they're the halls of our birthplace, but we weren't born here.
But our people were.
True.
Kind. We're the dwarves. We are the earth. We're molded from the rocks and the stone.
All
Then why
right.
are we comfortable in daylight then?
You'll fix that soon.
All right. So on day 16, you do notice another one of those like small splinter tunnels, like the ones that you'd have to like go single file through.
Is this the pointed out? Is this the route that your people came out of?
Ivy shakes her head and goes, "No, this is a smaller tunnel that connects over to close to where the Needle's Eye is. It's natural, like everything
Thrum's
here."
gonna check it.
I'll come help you so you can get advantage. Not that you probably will need it.
Yeah, thematically he would say, "Boy, come over here. You need to start learning these things if you're going to be king of the Underdark."
The
You
king
know,
of what now?
I'm not that terrible at it.
Wait, what is it called? The Underdark?
Yeah, it's called the Underdark, but just Ivy's taken aback because last she heard from Fergis is that it was just reclaiming one city. She's like, king of the what now?
Well, it's
Just
his
kind of looks
birthright.
back.
Well, naturally.
Because saying king of the Underdark is like saying king of the entire planet.
Yeah, he
He's
said
like,
it.
don't mind him. He's full of hot air.
Okay.
But that is our goal, right? Wars rule the Underdark.
Things happen naturally.
It's the city. We're going for the city right now. Don't worry about it.
Dammerhall.
Like the entire time, Fergus just looking at her doing like that weird like head cutting like no cut it like stop like I'm not doing what they want kind of thing to her. Like no, this is not my idea. This is stupid.
Okay, but tell me, Gombo, what are the odds that she takes that as? I lost it, so never mind.
Okay, it's all good.
We're gonna conquer her town. I mean, eventually.
Yeah, what are
we
the
are.
odds she takes that as him like stop talking? Shh, don't tell her.
No,
us.
like he's looking at her when he's doing it. So.
Honestly, she's been with you guys for a little over a week now.
Yeah, true.
She's probably gotten at least the vibe.
Yep. Fergus is the weirdo.
With that survival Thrum, there doesn't look like there's been a lot of humanoid foot traffic through here. You do notice like lots of little small pinpricks, small being relative considering that they're still like an inch or two wide. So you might wager that farther down this tunnel you might find like a nest of something like some giant centipedes.
Where did you say this tunnel goes? Over to near the eye?
Yeah, it links it links over towards this tunnel here.
Keep a note of that and let your militia know that it looks like there's some pretty bad porkas might be down there.
Yeah, I'll let them know that.
What the fuck is a porka?
I don't know. I just thought it was safer to agree not to. I thought it was just safer to agree. All right. So if you keep pressing on. Next day, day 17. You just see the cusp of the title of the town.
Good news, I can see the first billboard.
There might be a small
Means we're
marker that
near the
shows.
city.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's a smart idea.
There's like a small marker that shows that
Hello?
we're close.
Screw that, I'm going with billboard.
It's just like a gnome drinking a soda.
I was gonna say smoking a
It's the
cigarette.
trap,
We are in
no.
the olden times. Remember,
Oh yeah, right.
has that long pipe.
The travel.
Gandalf's choice.
Yep. All right. Anything this day, or are we good to keep moving forward?
I imagine we're just gonna keep moving forward.
Yep.
I imagine at least Ivy's let us know or something that we're close, so we're probably all pretty eager to get there at this point.
Mm-hmm. Day 18. Make sure my count on my personal account is right. You keep track of all that food there, Cope?
Yep. I'm down 17 days worth.
Mm-hmm.
I take it out at night, so if we're on day 18, then that's right.
Yeah. All right. Then, finally, about halfway through the next day. Oh, I'm sorry, I miscounted. You got one more day of this stuff. Never mind. I forgot that the tunnels curve. Harg. So.
Second billboard. Another night.
Yep. I spy with something, my little eye, something gray. Rock.
You got it. Your turn.
Dark
begins with
vision.
an S.
Everything's gray.
Stone.
Aye, but which stone?
Joke's on you, it was the one 2 miles back.
We passed it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Fergus has slept mostly the entire 3 days, the last 3 days in the back of the wagon. Want to be
All right.
woken up violently by either a bump or one of the other people.
Now, finally, about halfway through this next day, you guys finally reach Fastervault. All right, let me change audio. Did you know that there's an ambient available for from Roll20 called Tarask Interior? I'm sure that won't come up.
Okay, guys, my connection to the call just went for a second, so I couldn't hear you guys for...
Did you hear the Tarask interior?
No.
I said there's a...
Then don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, all I said is that you guys finally arrive at Fastervault about halfway through your 19th day of the expedition. Oh, sorry, 15th day. Or 20th. Man, listen, my brain goes too. All right, so you guys enter out into a tall cavern. One large space. It's by anyone else's standards, this would be like an absolutely like historically large cavern, but by Underdark and Dwarven standards, it's pretty normal. I'm getting some reveal stuff to set up to you here. Looking at the stone around you, it looks like this entire interior cavern is one marble deposit. Not a giant, like the entirety of it. Not a giant marble deposit. I googled it. Marble deposits are actually like really huge.
And you have to take them out in big chunks so they stay together when you're carving it.
All right, let me move you over to a map here.
Oh, darkness, my old friend.
You guys see that?
It's blurry, but...
Yeah, it takes a bit because it's a big image.
Oh, yeah. Zooming out. Oh, nice.
That's Fastervault. There's lots of these buildings scattered around with natural stairs, and there's a fast-moving running river. All the buildings are kind of like, they're not placed on the ground, they were like carved out of it.
Cool.
They're very simplistic in design compared to most dwarven things, but they definitely have an air of smooth craftsmanship to them. You guys can also see the big map down here. You are entering through this tunnel, being greeted by the clink, 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 clink sound of pickaxes at the quarry that you're passing by.
Hey, Ivy, what's that big building on the hill?
Oh, that's the Hall of Lord Gurney.
Who's
Well,
Lord Gurney?
I feel like he's the Lord Gurney Garrison. He speaks his truth but slowly. He's the Lord of Fastervault here.
He's the one that's the son of the last one, and he seems to be not taking the drow threat seriously. If that's what I remember you and her saying.
Yeah, he's stupid.
So he's
Say.
a coward.
Where's your local chapel where plates we could deliver the deceased? Feel that is perhaps most prudent of all.
I believe they said they bury them in the mushroom fields.
Yeah.
I still think it is not our job to bury them.
Oh, no, let's take them to your militia center. They were...
I'm sure it's. I don't think it's like marked on the map or anything, but I'm sure there is somewhere.
Yeah.
Or Ivy, what would be appropriate?
I think the appropriate thing would be to find the sheriff's widow.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Do you know where her house is by chance?
She looks, and you see like some gnomes as you're pulling into town do see you, and they're not like suspicious or freaking out, but they're definitely murmuring amongst themselves. Because the militia beat you here, you would seem. She goes, "I have a feeling she'll be finding you." And she hops down from the yak. And goes, and that will be my cue to get going. I don't want to be in the middle of that. It would be a little awkward. But hey, when you're done with all that, come find me at the Blue Bat in the town square. The first round is on me. And only the first. I have heard how dwarves drink. So...
I will be there.
Figure I owe you one for getting me out of that cavern.
Cold brew and a warm meal sounds right good. See now there, Fergus? It's not all just caverns and rocks and beautiful stone, but here you can create a city.
Yes, city made of rock.
Better than I hoped for.
Yeah, it's certainly not a hamlet. It's definitely like a community.
And we just see deep gnomes, right? There's no other.
Yeah,
variation.
just deep gnomes. In fact, Ivy takes her leave and she ducks down an alley. And as you guys are like pulling through the town, probably making your way towards the town square here because it's a large central space.
Yeah, if you guys weren't, I was about to go to the town square and get the feel for things.
Stick together.
Yeah, you get lots of looks from gnomes as they pass by, just because you're new people in town, not like suspicious or afraid or anything like that. And it's interesting because probably, with the exception of maybe Thrum, who had met someone passing, you guys don't have a lot of experience with deep gnomes. So you didn't really notice this when you were with Ivy or the militia. But Ivy looks different than most deep gnomes. Her skin is the exact same color and like that coarse, almost rough texture that like all these gnomes are. But all gnomes, even the female ones, are bald except for their eyebrows, just like completely hairless. Where Ivy's got like full length, like completely bone white hair. And they're all a little bit stockier. And she's actually a bit finer. Like almost closer to a wood gnome, though probably a little bit on the bulkier side.
Are you telling me she's half drow?
I'm telling you she might be half wood gnome.
Okay. That's not as bad, but they're still pretty flaky.
Yeah. But it's just not something you really put together.
This is the perfect girlfriend for Fergus.
He just ignores that.
Freya,
You'll have to start thinking about political marriages there, Fergus.
Yes, political marriages. Marry this one random ass half-breed thief from a backwater town. That'll get you in the door.
Yes, let us not speak of this anymore. Let's head to the town square. And he just continues to move ahead of the wagon as fast as he can.
I mean, you gotta start small. I'm always looking for the future ex-Mrs. Thrum.
He's got to marry a dwarf. Someone's got to wear the pants.
Out of curiosity, how many are you up to so far?
Living or dead?
Both.
I'd say, well, that one doesn't count. So maybe 3.
Well,
Sometimes you're not really sure if you said the vows. Wait, how do dwarves get married? Do they have wedding vows?
Yeah, they have. It's all like very like official.
Yeah, I'd say there were 3, but depending on what town you're in, if you can't find a pastor like Talon here or Taskill, then sometimes you're not really sure if it counts.
There's an earth shattering, the entire town shakes, Talon comes out of the ground.
I mean, he was an Oread. After 10,000 years, I'm free!
So, to the best of your knowledge, are you married or single?
No, my last wife had her demise 5 years ago.
Demise.
What's a demise?
I think he means demise with an accent.
Ah.
I know what he meant, but it's funny.
His accent is fake.
But I agree with old Fergus here. Let's no more chit chat about our ladies. Let's move on.
Oh yeah, Fergus is already way gone. After the talk of marriage and stuff, he just bolted.
Yep. So you guys get to this bridge right here. The river looks really slow.
Are you talking about this bridge right here?
Yeah, that bridge right there.
Okay. I think are you in GM layer? Because I didn't see the ping.
No, it's big.
Where'd you say we came in from? We came in from Stonecutters Row up here? Okay.
Yeah, I'll
And that
tell
was
you guys.
where we heard the dinging.
Yes. If you
Sorry.
guys had taken the Needle's Eye, you would have come in here. And if you had taken the Skinny Passage that was single file only, you would have come in here.
Gotcha. I see it now. I had to zoom all the way out.
Yeah, I know, it's big, but it's the best I could do.
I mean, you can always make it
I think it's
smaller if
awesome.
you need to.
Mhm.
And then just shrink the maps, but either way, it works for me.
So every little square is 50 yards. Is that correct? Or is that like
It's
1
inch is 50 yards. I didn't do this for scale. This is just for showing.
Okay.
It's not a tiny cavern.
Oh, this is out of your book.
It's out of the book, yeah.
Okay. Dude, I thought you drew this. And I was like,
It's on my level, so you'll see some stuff I'm drawing in the future, but this is still book stuff.
Speaking of which, I hope you like that city thing I found for you. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
that'll-
super helpful if you ever need to make a city of anything.
Yeah, that's going to be helpful for the Drow City. Spoilers, but ooh, Drow Underdark. Anyway,
All we need is
I knew it.
now all we need is good application for battle maps, and I won't ever have to draw a map. Because
Yeah,
you have
I need to
world
find one of
maps,
those.
city maps, and now we just need battle maps.
around the time that you reach that bridge, though, and it's wide enough for your cart. That's no problem. But you do notice there is a older-looking deep-gnome woman waiting for you there, with a distraught look upon her face.
Maybe leave this to the Reverend. What do you say, Taskill?
Are we sure that's just not how they look?
What you guys gonna do?
That must be the widow there.
Go on, Papa. Pats him on the back.
Does Taskill move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenneth, you've got us all frozen.
Hell. We come bearing bad news, I'm afraid.
I heard from Cridge. I got there. She's tearing up a little bit. He's gone, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Such are the risks one takes on the highway.
She nods. Was there anything to bring back, or?
Yes, it's all on the cart. We left all of his belongings with him.
Listen, you've done so much by finding him and bringing him back. I hate to ask more, but could you help me bury him?
I suppose we can.
Thank you. So
Just yell into the crowd. Anyone got a shovel? Kidding.
dead meat here. Make a hole. Steaming hot corpse. Get used to be a dude. Now it's junk.
This one's ripe.
I imagine we took a lot of his possessions that weren't his clothes, by the way, and like rolled them up in a separate thing of supplies and handed it to her. Like, if Taskill didn't do it, Fergis would grab the stuff and give it to her, like his badge, weapon, and all that stuff.
Yeah, she takes his ring that he had, which was in fact his wedding ring.
Yeah.
And slides it over her finger. Holds that close.
Hey, Thrum, Nolgrim, let's go bury the man. Freya, Fergis, you see about finding lodgings for the night.
Nolgrim not in agreement.
Did you say Thrum too, with Nolgrim in you?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, it's been some time, but if you want a few moments to speak to his remains, you're welcome to some time alone.
It's been long enough. He should be in the field. Otherwise, what's left of him won't be good for the crops.
Aye, ashes to ashes.
Practicality.
Dust to dust.
Mushrooms to mushroom.
I was gonna say fungus to fungus. But
Yeah.
something about there's a fungus among us.
So it's Nolgrim, Thrum, and Taskill going with her to the mushroom fields. And Freya and Fergus are going to go find lodging. Are you guys who's taking the wagon?
The group of them have the bodies.
We've got the dead body.
I would actually say that Nolgrim should probably come with us since he can read the signs.
That's a good point.
Nolgrim frowned a bit at that and say, very well. I trust that the remains will find their proper place.
Speaking of which, does somebody have a
Shovel.
You don't have. You're not digging 8 feet down.
I mean, my axe could kind of work like a shovel, if you think.
Nolgrim will hand you one of his shovels that he actually has packed.
Oh, okay. Good.
Then
They cheaper by the dozen.
maybe Fergus go with them to bury the body. I don't know.
I mean, it's tiny gnome. It's not going to be a
I was gonna say Fergus,
Fergus,
like when he hears a manual labor, he's like, please no.
Let the two old guys go bury the body with the widow.
Yeah, team young and team old. Woo.
Woo.
Okay.
I would be going to look for that blue bat place because I imagine it's a tavern. Maybe there's an inn kind of thing going on with it.
Yeah. All right. So, young folk go off to go find lodging in the town square. Thrum and Taskill carry off the bodies, take them to the mushroom field. The mushroom fields are exactly what they sound like. They're big patches of exposed dirt with just lots of mushrooms. Some grow to be as tall as like 2 feet, but most are lower to the ground, but they're all very large. There's quite a few gnomes moving around here, plucking some up and throwing them in some fungus wood wagons. You wander out into the field. Go ahead.
Sorry, Gombo. I was going to say I'd say a lot more and ask a lot more, and I will later, but out of respect, Thrum's going to stay quiet.
Yeah. You eventually find a nice spot. You can tell, because you can still kind of see some bones in the dirt, that they don't bury them terribly deep, because then they wouldn't be useful for the mushrooms.
Makes sense.
Yeah. She doesn't really...
Mushrooms break down material. Do they break down flesh? Or
Also, flesh naturally breaks down and provides nutrients for the soil.
Yeah. It's mushrooms. Fungus in general survives on anything so long as there's moisture.
Gotcha.
It's like one of the most durable things in nature. So you spend some time, you bury him a little bit down. It might be a little bit weird for you because dwarven burial rituals are much different. They call it returning to mother and father, where if the facilities are allowed, they like the dwarves in like full armor and they lower down into a running lava flow.
I read that somewhere. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, because it's like returning to earth and fire, basically. This is a little bit more utilitarian. She doesn't make you do it, but she strips the dead body just like completely naked and then has you bury that. Like
Thrum would help. He's definitely dirty, nasty ranger, so that's not going to scare him.
She still insists on doing it herself.
Pardon me, ma'am.
Yeah. But when it actually comes to like burying him, she just kind of stands back and she's kind of like just clutching his short sword that he had. Just like close to her chest, around the middle, just like as a security blanket thing. When
Thrum looks over at Taskill to see if he's going to take the lead, because, religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, not my customs.
I guess
I don't know them, and I don't want to offend the lady.
Yes. Yeah. Lady, is it time to intern him to the field?
Yes. Nice spot here. And after you guys have him buried in, she does turn to Taskill and she goes, I don't know everything about dwarven faith, but I do know what that symbol, she points to the symbol of Father Mountain, that I'm sure you've got somewhere on your person. Mm-hmm. She goes, I do know that means that you're a cleric of your god. I know you don't know our ways, but any words that you could say for my husband's passing would be greatly appreciated.
Very well. I guess we'll go into prayer for fallen warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Since he was a sheriff.
Yep. Actually, just a fun fact, you don't have to do it here, but there's a really fun spell for clerics called Ceremony, if you ever want to look at something like that. It's really cool. Because it's for doing, like, rites, like marriage, coming of age, or burial rites, and it's really interesting. So, to the conclusion of your sermon, unless you want to actually say anything out loud. I'll leave it up to you.
No.
Okay. She's shedding some tears, and she turns to you both and says, thank you. It's never easy, but I thank you for doing right by Gunther.
Aye.
I'm happy to help, ma'am. Sorry for your loss.
I'll find some way to repay you. And then she just kind of slowly wanders off. Definitely you do notice a lot of like the other deep gnomes are giving like a respectfully wide berth for this entire deal. Meanwhile, back at the ranch with the people looking for booze, you just go over the bridge, then you're in the wide town square you see there. Turns out if you're looking for the blue bat, you don't really have to look super far because or you even needed Nolgrim.
Because there's a blue bat signal.
Yeah.
No, literally, this building here has a sign that is no words, just a blue sign in the shape of a bat.
I had a feeling it was going to be something like that. So
Nolgrim will point to it. Found it.
There.
What would we do without your expertise, Nolgrim?
That is a question that hopefully we never have to discover.
can't wait to find out what you guys do without me. Just runs right into the bar.
Despite what this picture up here shows, actually the Blue Bat is the only building around here that actually has flickering firelight coming from inside and a small little plume of smoke coming out of a chimney that gathers up in the darkness of the cavern ceiling.
Fergis' run intensifies. Bonus action dash. Run. He wants to see some colors, goddammit.
Well, initiative.
But I just imagine, like, with the rogue being able to dash as a bonus action, it just makes me think that they're just naturally quicker than other people.
Oh, yeah.
In small birds, anyway. Just jump in. Boy, am I ready for a Krabby Patty.
So, those of you not dashing up with Fergus are easily able to find a place that you can tie off the yak to. you want to.
I thought that was still with Thrum and
Okay, well, who I forgot who took what.
because they had the bodies in the wagon.
So yeah, Fergus, when you're the first one who enters in through the fungus wood door, you're immediately greeted by a not huge but very comfortable stone tavern. They do have a fireplace with an actual lit fire. There's a metal pot where some sort of stew is boiling. You can smell it. There's only just a few gnomes in here. It seems like you caught them in an off hour. But what you're truly immediately greeted by is about almost a foot tall, not quite that tall, tiny blue raptor.
Oh.
It like scurries up to you and starts hissing and going.
Just be like, there.
It's just like, if you've never seen something like that, it's like a two-legged lizard that walks on its hind legs.
Animal handling to try to get it to calm down. Like, I'm just like trying to do like slow motions, trying to like do that thing where you're trying to like calm down. Like, you just kind of get it to not attack me.
We call this him bitey.
Just give him your pocket steak.
I said someone was going to bite me by the end of the session.
Yeah, it's not biting you. It's just regarding its curiosity. Until another gnomish woman comes out. She's like wearing an apron. She goes, "Oh, Caspar, down. Leave the good dwarves alone." She's speaking in Dwarven, seemingly for your courtesy.
Yeah.
And she comes up and she like scoops up the raptor and puts it under the arms, like one of those little putt dogs.
So it's like hissing at me like a house cat. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Like a very angry chicken.
yeah, basically. She's like, "I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse my little friend here. This is Caspar. Careful, he bites." And then, like as she says that, he like nips.
I love their naming convention.
I know, gnomes are the best.
I mean, they're essentially like Argonian naming conventions.
Yeah.
Pretty great. Fergus would greet her and like introduce himself as Fergus, and after the other two come in, introduce them and say they were looking for drinks and looking to find some lodging.
She goes, "Well, I'm Mithra, ever a song follows, owner and proprietor here of the Blue Bat. I heard that you dwarves were coming."
Yes, it seems we had the group that we rescued made their way here quicker than us by a wide margin. So
I'm glad they made it safely. We were a little worried when we found drow footprints headed in the direction that they were going.
Ah, then you haven't heard.
heard.
I'm afraid not.
Well, why don't you all come up to the bar? Anyone
Told those assholes not to go that way.
Yeah, anyone who was able to bail those nice men out from those spiders and avenge the old sheriff deserves one round on the house.
This is going to be a good day.
I was going to say, that's 2 rounds we've earned.
Yeah. What, you thought I wasn't going to run a dwarf campaign and not focus on giving you copious amounts of alcohol?
Fergus is going to ask for wine. Don't think they have it, but he's going to ask for it anyway.
Mushroom
Yeah,
wine.
as you come up to the bar, she goes, "Fresh out, I'm afraid. All we have is, what do they name it? In the,
Oh, yes.
all we have is locally brewed black beer."
Yeah, better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be great.
She gets full-size tankers, fills them up. Basically what it is that it's like the darkest beer that you've ever seen. It's like, it definitely has the foam and the consistency of beer, but it's black like ink.
So
Yes,
Guinness extra
Cave
dark.
Twig.
Nolgrim's going to hold it up to... You said there's a light source in there, right?
Yeah, there's a single campfire.
Nolgrim's going to hold it up, I guess it depends also. Is it a glass mug or no?
It is a marble mug.
Marble mug. Okay, so
It's not like intricately designed, but it's impressive they are able to get a handle without the marble cracking. It's actually genuinely impressive by dwarven standards.
I would like, yeah. So Nolgrim would admire that aloud, saying, "This is some fancy craftsmanship." I have to say, I'm impressed.
Well, the stonecutters on the row may not be dwarves, but they get by. She gives a nice smile.
And with that, Nolgrim will take a long pole.
Mm-hmm. It's, okay. Real life Gombo section here. I know nothing about beer by and by. So I'm just gonna say it's a bit on the. It's not as strong as dwarven ale, but it is very bitter.
Okay.
Give me a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. You will have advantage because you're dwarven against poisons. And before you freak out, this is just to see if when you're drinking this, you're getting you're not getting drunk. You're tanking it just fine. This is what my rule is going to be for all alcohols, and I have different DCs set for different strengths.
Mm-hmm.
Most dwarven ales are DC 15.
Nice.
Now to check my constitution. Is it just a constitution or a save?
It's a Constitution save. With advantage because you're dwarven no matter what. That's why dwarves don't get... Yeah. On average, you're all going to be probably passing these. But
where is the button for the save?
Right next to your stats.
There it is.
Saving throws, yeah.
Constitution with advantage.
Yep. You all passed.
Nolgrim will say, it's been far too long since I had a draft. Thank you very much.
Nothing of it.
It is remarkable to find civilization down here. It's been a while since I've seen any semblance of a building, and I'm kind of missing it.
Well, you're always welcome here. Well, on to the news. Well, in case you haven't heard, you should be pleased to know that those militia gnomes that you got out from the Skizral webs all got back safe and sound. However, while everyone was gone, there's been a development. There's a drow emissary staying in the halls of Lord Gurney.
Well, we can take care of that for you. Takes another drink.
Mm.
Someone tells me killing an emissary for them is not going to help matters.
Word from the guards at the hall when they come in here to drink is that they are wanting to establish trade. Perhaps an embassy here in Fastervault.
Oh, disgusting. Don't let them do that.
Well, Fastervault and the Drow have a little bit of a history. When the Drow constructed that fort way up past the fungal jungle, Lord Gurney's father, Gurden, made a deal with the devil, as it was. Rather than the Drow taking over and trying to enslave us, we give them a portion of the marble that we pull up from the quarry. The Drow aren't as good at getting it high quality and cutting out smoothly like us, so it saves them having to watch us and work us like slaves.
Huh.
Word is that they want to add more to that deal, perhaps in exchange, but there's some amongst the town that think it's just a prelude to an actual invasion.
Huh.
Yeah, generally when a group is pressuring another like that, they usually want to extort something out of them. I speak from experience.
She works an hour at that, but doesn't push. Oh, the emissary, as it says, has been nothing but praises and compliments. Getting a tour of the town and all the like. Flowery words and all that.
Nolgrim's gonna take another long pull from his bear. I don't know. Obviously, it is not mine to say, but I suspect you. I don't know. Is this the sort of offer you cannot refuse sort of situation you suspect?
Or it is, it's no threats, just trade. But between you and me, that makes me just a little bit more nervous.
It means they're planning something.
Gift in one hand, distraction from the dagger in the other.
Possible.
Should have never made a deal with the drow in the first place. This is just an inevitability.
I mean, they built a fort. I imagine they're much more manpower than the deep gnomes here. He's saying their actual name, their first Neblin.
Yeah, civil, but it's fine. I know it's such a weird word.
But I'm just not going to say that. But just for matters of this, I'm just saying their actual name. But I'm just going to say deep gnomes.
It can and both are totally fine too. So it's just whatever.
But his trying to do that thing where he's trying to be polite, so he's trying to say things properly, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do it, so I'm not going to. But yeah, they probably have them outmanned and bent over a barrel as it is. The fact that they were able to broker any kind of peace is probably a good thing.
Well,
the fact that they weren't thrown in chains is certainly a boon.
Oh, Gurney's father was certainly no one that you wanted to mess with. Fastervault wasn't always just a deep gnome community. Drugar used to rule around here.
Take another strong pull from his beer.
They were driven out of lower Azathir, which is the out of character. That's the region of the Underdark you're in. You're currently in Upper Azathir. Some time ago, they were setting up little bands sought to use gnomes as slave labor. Lord Gurnin didn't take liking to that. Got everyone together and drove them off. Took a lot out of it, though. Weren't really up to fighting the drow after that.
Still sounds like a good man.
The best.
Word is that his son's not up to snuff comparatively.
Gurney means well. The boy is good-hearted in nature. He just... I mean, you've heard his name, haven't you?
Refresh it, because I know where you heard it. I just haven't written it down yet, because it's a long name I haven't typed out.
Lord Gurney speaks the truth, but slowly.
Yeah.
He doesn't think things through. You've met Iravana. You know that she speaks a little bit more vocally about him.
Which one's Iravana?
Ivy. That's her full name.
Yeah, she's been pretty much calling him an idiot.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Thrum. Finished burying the body already?
Sorry, I just wanted to remind you out of character.
I mean, that'd probably be a good point for you guys to come in anyway.
Yeah, before too long, Taskill and Thrum come in. You guys see as I described. You don't get accosted by a tiny little dino, though. And instead, you just see your three compatriots seated up the bar talking to the barkeep.
And kind of nod to you two. Seems we're not the first visitors they've had in the recent weeks.
Nah, won't be the last either, but it'll be the first drink.
And while he's getting a drink, Fergis will just kind of refresh the entire conversation they had to Thrum and Taskill.
Yeah.
Get them up to speed.
Yeah, while you're doing that, let me make sure I remember her name. Mithra, sorry. Mithra excuses herself because she's going to go deliver some sort of stew to some gnomes from another table while you guys are filling it.
As soon as the beer gets put down before you fill us in, Thrum would say, "A toast First drink we've had together, gentlemen. Here's for our wives and girlfriends. May they never meet.
A traditional dwarven toast. I can appreciate that. You would join in on the toast.
And then, as you're filling us in, as soon as you mention drow, he's going to drown the rest of his beer, put it down, pick up a spear, and say, "All right, let's go."
Give me a con saving throw there, Thrum.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's going to do the same thing either way.
Please double one.
One.
Just grab the spear.
Come on. Fail.
Yep.
Ah.
You're rock solid.
Settle down there, Thrum. We can't go around killing people already. Also, we're guests in this city, if you haven't remembered.
Aye, but this war between the drow and the dwarves is only over when you're dead, son.
Aye, but no need to get civilians caught in the middle of it.
And no use rekindling it before we're even settled into our old kingdom. I'm pretty sure if we start causing problems with the drow now, it's only a matter of time before they hunt us down.
Causing trouble with the drow? They killed dozens of my mates. How do you think I got this scar here?
And how do you propose that we would hide from them in these caves when we have a yak? It's not exactly a good way to start.
All right,
trouble
Etsy, right into the battle.
I'm just saying a little bit of subtlety probably couldn't hurt right now. Not saying, we have to be buddy-buddy with them, but they're already having their own problems with them, so I'm hoping to see if we can work something out that doesn't involve bloodshed, but probably put the spear down for that.
Well, if you're talking about the drow, there's going to be bloodshed at some point.
At some point. Maybe not today.
By the father and
I
mother.
imagine we're known by now. What with the emissaries?
Most likely. I'm surprised they haven't come in to greet us and flaunt their ways. If I know any kind of elves, they're generally like that. Though the wood elves are nice.
That's the thing. You won't see them coming. Those bloody, cheating scoundrels. They'll sneak out.
The emissary is right there.
See? Snuck up right behind me in the dark.
I mean, there's a fire in here. This is the least dark we've been in.
We need another round.
And I'm not sure about Drow. I've never met them, but not all elves are bad,
I've killed dozens of drow and have them kill dozens of my mates. They're all bad. Just upon sight, they came fighting.
Fergis doesn't know what to say about that, so he's just going to continue drinking.
1 second. Thrum, you feel something pointy touch you in the back.
Better not be Fergus's penis. Alright, he's pointy, like knife blade pointy.
Definitely knife blade pointy.
He's gonna finish his beer, put it down, and say, "If you're gonna do it, do it."
Man, that's not the reaction I wanted. I thought you'd freak out more. And it's Ivy. She just snuck up on you.
Oh, lass. You're lucky I've had a beer or two.
So you've heard the news.
Nolgrim will lean over. By the way, whose knife is that?
Fergus looks, fuck, my knife.
Actually, yes, that's even better than what I was going to say.
Nolgrim gives her a thumbs up.
Damn, lassie. No wonder they don't like you around here.
Oh, they just can't stand my razor wit. She hops up on a stool.
Fergus grabs his knife back.
Yep. It's interesting to also note that stools sized for gnomes are not actually uncomfortable for dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually
as long as they don't have arm handles, I imagine it's probably fine.
Yeah, these are like the backless
little
ones.
side handles, because I can't fit in any chairs that have those.
Yeah, I know.
I feel your pain, buddy.
No, these are backless, so they're just the normal like bar stools. And then Mithira comes back. And Ivy orders up a round for everyone because she says she owes you.
Indeed. I'll drink to that.
And some warm food if we can as well. It's been trail rations and supplies for a while. I could use with something warm. I don't care what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's a pie.
I've got some stew if you're interested.
Deal.
Sounds good to me.
Now, this one isn't on the house. And for Thrum, did you just say you've already had 2?
He did it. Sure.
Yes, he's definitely had 2. If he just got a third.
Yeah, the first one was free. The third one is free. So you're currently running up a tab, and she's letting you know. It's 5 silver pieces
Oh, shit.
per bowl of stew, 2 silver pieces per mug of beer.
I'm gonna hand her a platinum piece, and this will cover everything for the night, I imagine.
Thrum slaps you on the back so hard. I mean, it's like an attack. That's my boy. Everything
and again, drow or not, we do need rooms for the night. If you have anything here.
She picks up, looks at it. Drow coinage. Huh.
Yeah, we found it. Don't go spreading it around.
Don't see many of platinum pieces of that come up around here. Yeah, this should cover everything just fine. Out of character, that's for so many gold. Yeah, you're
I know
absolutely.
it is.
I totally forgot we had that money. I was thinking.
'Cause I'm pretty sure they're worth 10 gold.
Yeah, they're very valuable.
He doesn't expect to really spend much money in underground anyway, so he's like, "Fuck it, burn it if you got it."
Man,
Let me see here. I'm gonna. Ivy's drinking some ale now.
that's so much more than it was gonna cost.
Normal.
Hey, you know what?
Hey.
I just played a character that is very chinsy with my wizard. I'm not playing another one of those.
So 1 round in, Ivy's already feeling it.
I guess I should roll for my second one, huh?
Mm-hmm. Thrum, roll for your second and your third.
Nolgrim too.
Oh yeah, everyone who's having another one.
Come on, one of us needs to fail.
Oh,
There we go.
oh, Nolgrim.
No groom's the lightweight.
Mm-hmm. All right. So both Nolgrim and Ivy are buzzed. It's the equivalency of the first level exhaustion, which means you have disadvantage on all ability checks until you sober up.
I just want to be able to say that.
And both your thoughts and coordination is impaired.
Ability checks, so not like skills and whatnot, just ability
No,
checks.
those are skills, just not saving throws.
Not
Okay.
saving throws and not attacks.
Okay.
Yes. But you're a little bit fuzzy in the brain now,
Mhm.
and not super coordinated.
He's still trying to spout out history, but now it becomes more like drunk history.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
Noel.
God, I love watching that.
It's a
I
fun
know.
show.
It's-
When we're drinking and stuff, I still can't remember the name of the bartender lady.
Yeah,
When I write these things out, I'll get better at it. But he's gonna ask her so does Lord Gurney ever leave his place of business and residence, or does he kind of just hold himself up there?
Oh no, he leaves all the time.
Does he ever come around here or any other place of drink?
Every so often. Not since the emissary arrived. He's been entertaining them there, giving them a
Shame.
tour of the town, stuff like that.
I thought we might be able to get a chance alone without the elven influence to kind of talk to him, but
Ivy slams her mug down into the counter and goes, "Wait, you're not all sticking around, are you?"
I don't know. But it'd be nice to introduce to the person in charge of the town.
Nah, I wouldn't bother if I were you. This town's days are numbered. I would say just load up on supplies, get riding on out, and find your big city or whatever. That's the smart
You're
play.
talking to the future king of Dammerhall. He ought to know at least the lord of this town so he can do negotiations.
Hey,
This time it's Fergus's turn to kick Thrum. Like he just kicks someone underneath the bar.
Nah. Everybody knows it. Cheers.
I am curious. What is your beef with this town? You seem to have I think it's plainly obvious you have some sort of rocky past with it with you.
give me a persuasion. At disadvantage because you're drunk. It comes out like... Just out of
So what's the deal with you?
It's pretty obvious that...
Yeah. Go ahead and slur it a bit together.
And you just change topic mid-sentence.
Right.
Because, like, the raptor starts, like, tugging on your, like, your armor base. That distracts you.
Oi! That's reaches down, starts picking it up and petting it. A little bit heavy-handed, but he likes the little critter, even as it starts gnawing on him.
1 second.
Oh, what's that there? It's a baby porca.
And see how this goes.
And attack.
Has advantage. Does 19 hit you?
Yes, it does.
You take 1 point of piercing damage as it bites your hand.
Oh, such a cutie. Very much like a cat person who's, playing the cat. He has just like biting the shit out of him.
Like, oh, how cute. Ow, ow, ow. Cute.
Yeah, the barkeep comes around and goes, "Oh, Caspar, knock it off, the nice dwarf." And she takes it from your hands. And she starts kind of like singing like a soft song in gnomish. And the little raptor just clunks right out.
I have something for that animal, by the way, because memes.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of Nolgrim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, it was too good. I had that on standby.
But as she sings the song and it pops just right out, you also kind of get the impression there might have been like just a little bit of magic in that song that she used. Like she might have used the sleep spell on it.
So Fergus, when Ivy's talking about the town being doomed, so do you have no investment in this town? What's your plan if this town is supposedly doomed?
I don't know. My plan was to run away with the sheriff, but that one...
Come with us. More the merrier, as long as you carry your weight.
Wait, why was the sheriff running away?
He's going to gather some help, I assume. Maybe to lean on the drow.
Maethra
she told
says,
us that.
yeah, Maethra says, Sheriff Gunther was going off to go talk to some of the other deep gnome settlements farther away, see if they can muster up any help. Think anything good from that?
You found even better help in us.
She raised an eyebrow and says, "Is that a promise then?"
Maybe.
Echo.
Yeah, I know there's an echo for something.
I just want to say it so I can hear it.
Yeah. Either way, Ivy interjects and says, "Another round, their tab."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I paid for plenty, so.
Yep. Let me see how she's doing.
Yep. But yeah, while you're rolling, Fergus says, I can't promise anything currently, but if there's anything we can do to help, I'm happy to. I mean, gotta have some kind of allies down here.
Did someone say another round?
Yeah. Another round comes down.
Oh!
Hey, Freya's starting to feel it.
Drink today and drown all sorrow. You shall perhaps not do it tomorrow.
Fergus is going to get another one, but he's not going to drink it. He's just doing that thing that he pretends like he's drinking still, but he has his own, like, I'm cutting myself off thing.
Yeah.
Perception.
I mean, what would I oppose this by?
Sleight of hand.
Sure.
I'm just nursing the second one because, if he growls about.
I'm pretty sure you don't notice.
You're all
Also, it's at disadvantage anyway.
What's the difference between perception and investigation?
Perception.
Slow, methodical is investigation usually.
And I think one is intelligence based, the other is wisdom based.
Investigation can also be like putting abstract details together. Like there's a blood splatter here and a broken glass window here, and then there's the body. What happened? Perception is there's a blood splatter there.
And then investigations, like if you're examining a chest for like traps or something, looking for fine details. Perception is just your general like awareness of the situation area, kind of. Best way I can really describe it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it.
But yeah, Mithara goes, well, if you want to do anything about it, go speak to Lord Gurney.
I'll talk to the rat bastard.
no.
He's got some things he needs to hear.
No. First sleep, then talk, maybe. Maybe, let me and a couple of, maybe someone else do the talking in Thrum. You do enough talking on the road. You need to save your voice.
Give him strong drink until he wink. Where are we going to sleep tonight?
I believe they said they had rooms here.
Yeah, there's rooms upstairs.
At that, he's going to look at Mitra and give her a big wink. Where are you going to sleep tonight?
Looks you up and down. Flattered as I am, I'll pass, but thank you.
Cheers. I like a woman who makes a quick decision.
Ivy. What Nolgrim said stands, though. If you wish to travel with us, we'd more than welcome to have you, but we might be here for at least another day, to be sure.
If you're getting out of this place, might just take you up on that.
It's I talked to Etsy and she says she likes you, so if you come with us, you can ride on Esky.
Shit, she talks?
If you know what to listen for. If you know what to listen for.
It just kind of lean into whispers. He's a little addled, don't mind him. Senioritis.
Aren't we all? Another round all around.
Another round.
Just look at Thrum. Okay, Doomer.
This Doomer.
Dwarf Boomer.
Oh, gotcha.
It was the joke, yes.
Yep. Ivy's still together.
Well, she would have disadvantage right now, wouldn't she? Oh no, that's skill checks.
Saves are separate.
Yeah.
It goes ability checks, then halves your movement speed, then disadvantage on saves.
Gotcha. How many rooms would they have? Are we like sharing a single room or?
They have about 4 available, so you might need to split bunks. After the 3rd round, Ivy's gonna excuse herself.
Yeah.
I imagine Freya and her dad would want to be in the same room.
Yeah, Fergis is definitely gonna want his own.
There's currently no guests, so you guys have the run of the place.
Yep. Fergus, against his better judgment, he would not alarm his room. He would go outside and alarm the inside of the wagon before like turning in and everything. But making sure that our supplies are safe and secure. And if it gets triggered, it's a mental alarm, so it won't make sound, but he'll be aware of it and he'll wake up.
Oh, that's a good point. Should we bring the supplies inside?
Fergus would like bring you aside and mention that he, is capable of such a thing, and he has it triggered to where if it goes off, he'll wake up and wake the rest of them. It's relatively safe as long as we react fast enough.
Oh, yes, I'm really feeling my fast reactions. Where's Ivy Nivy?
She headed out for the evening, it looks like.
Mhm.
And the stuff was still in the cart.
Yes.
Oh, I guess they can't run far. And those little bitty legs.
Fergus is going to go look for, maybe not here, but somewhere to go take a bath.
Okay, yeah.
We don't have to roleplay that or anything, but if you find somewhere...
Yeah, I was going to say that you swiftly find that the river here is actually, despite how it looks really like lazy, it's actually very fast current. So you'd better off going to the stock lake over here to bathe yourself. And it is cold.
Yeah.
It is ice freaking cold.
Yeah, he wouldn't even bother with his clothes or anything. He would just like try to wash off his like face, arms, the works, the business.
Yeah, do you not like want to... I mean, okay, do whatever you want.
I think I'm going to go for a walk around the town, see what they have available, and just see what's
power hopping. I'll go with you.
All right. Anybody else want to come with? See what this town's all about.
Yeah, I'll come with you guys.
There we go. Taskill?
You lot have your fun.
Excuse me, may I have a roadie? Beer for the road, please.
All
That's
mugs
all
are
right.
in house, good sir. So if you need to,
Water
if
skin.
you want to take some with you, you have to have something to put
Chugs
it
his
in.
water skin, hands over the water skin.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. And Thrum would hand her over a flask as well.
If you dwarves hadn't paid a platinum, she goes over and fills them.
We pay our way, ma'am. We'll be the best customers you have all day.
Yep, she fills them, hands them back to you.
Much obliged.
Platinum from the king.
And thus
they
the
walk
player
off.
characters began drunkenly stumbling around town. Nothing bad could possibly happen.
Hey, my character's not drunk.
Yeah, I know.
Although I am going to do something stupid.
Sure.
After he shaves, he is going to not stealth really much. It's just kind of just casually stroll up toward that gallery of the gods and kind of just observe the Hall of Gurney and see what the place looks like.
Yeah. Okay. So we can come back to you in a moment. Taskill, are you just bedding down for the night?
Yep.
You really pooped, aren't you, Kenneth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been feeling it the last couple weeks and kind of stir crazy this week.
Yeah, I gotcha. Anywho, so where's the drunken party going?
I think we're going to first do a lap around the town square.
It's mainly just houses you're seeing.
Then he would... I think he'd try and look for the like mercantile area.
Thrum's gonna sing the whole time they're walking.
You do see like the gnomish equivalent of a blacksmith in the town square, but you're not really noticing shops. It
A
seems
place
like
to sell supplies. Traveling goods.
nothing with a sign. Give me I would say an insight or an investigation, but remember you'll be at disadvantage because you're schnockered.
That'll help you, Sonny. What are you looking for?
Yeah, it's super
Looking
weird
for
that
a
this.
place to find our means of restocking our supplies for when we get back on the road.
Oh, don't worry about that now. We don't even have the test kit with us or the cart. Where are you
Not
gonna?
by now, but at the very least, get a lay of the land and see what other window
Lay
shopping
of
can
the
be done.
land. I know what you mean there, a lay of the land. Find a lovely lass like this one here is what you're trying to say. Let's go.
Like this one here, and he points to the goat.
No, Freya's.
That's super weird that you're saying that about your niece-in-law, by the way.
Yeah.
In-law.
He didn't directly come on to her. He was just trying to say you're trying to find a girl.
Oh,
Like,
bad choice of words.
Remember, we don't share a gene. Wink.
ugh.
Hey,
I
if
mean,
Brazzers has taught anybody
somewhere in
anything,
between-
his step
somewhere
doesn't
in
count.
between- What was that?
Nothing.
Step
I was
away,
going to say
it's
somewhere in
okay.
between Texas and Georgia is Alabama. So
Uh,
But yeah, you're not really noticing any shop. Nolgrim.
All right.
does Thrum see any other bar type establishments?
Not in the town square. It looks like the Blue Bat's your only option.
So, any other place of interest?
Let's go up to the big house up there.
I really hope we're going to the Blue Bats because we did just give them a platinum piece.
I assume that was covering also for our rooms and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
that was covering rooms and everything. It's just basically you should put it on your tab, and you're just like extremely high positive tab now.
Seeing nothing in this area, I think he'd start meandering towards the quarry and see what's along there. See,
Screw the
Take-
quarry. Look up there at the big house. That's where we need to be going. That's where the fine establishments are going to be.
Oh, no, I got to take a measure of the character of the society here. And what better way than to admire the stonework?
Does that mean you have to pee?
Oh, that too.
I'll pee in their quarry.
Oh my god! If this was a live stream, I want that on a shirt. I'd be in the quarry. Oh man, that's like another D&D live stream I watched where it was an offhanded joke that became a t-shirt. It was "Burn towns, get money."
Remember, pillage, then burn.
Yeah. So they're wandering off to the quarry in Stonecrutter's Row. Fergus probably about this time because they have a wide lap to do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably also considering they're a little bit buzzed, they're probably doing that thing where they're just full on pressing their faces up in the people's houses' windows to see if they're shop.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fergus looks as best as he can in general, and he used his dagger to kind of shave the sides of his beard. They were starting to grow in from the weeks of travel. I imagine they were growing in quite severely compared to what he usually likes, because dwarves grow beards real fast.
They do.
But he's back to his like kind of Spanish style, like beard and goatee, the mustache thing. And he's just gonna casually stroll up there and get the lay of the land, see what kind of people he sees around. Mostly take a good look at the hall. He's not gonna get close enough to like try to go in or anything, but also see if there's any drow presence other than the emissary.
Yeah, so you come up here. There's a natural staircase here where it's not carved at all. It's literally just layer upon layer of rocks that kind of formed like these flat steps that for you to go up. It's not like you have any guards or anything to bypass. It's all pretty open format town. You go across the river there, and you reach the area, which you don't know it's called the Gallery of the Gods. But
I know. I was just saying that because it's on the map. So
let me make sure I get the description of it just right. One of those things where you know what it is, but you want to make sure.
I'll be prepared for a lot of that in Rune Lords.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So basically, what it is right before the hall. There's a second rise, if you can kind of see it on the map, that has lots of, rather than being like smooth stone, is a bunch of stone columns going way up towards the ceiling of the cavern. And it's all a bunch of stained minerals rather than the marble of the rest. So they have like a rainbow of brilliant colors of red, orchid, vermilion, and blue. Down around the base of them, you notice like tiny offerings, like a pickaxe or other small trinkets are layered about, and with some gnomes offering prayers to it. And if you just kind of squint in the kind of flowy rainbow pattern, you can almost just make out, if you had an artistic eye, like the very serene faces of like gnomes.
So they're almost like totem kind of thing?
Yeah, but it's all like naturally formed. None of it's carved.
Hmm.
But they're like these big pillars that go up to the roof of a cavern.
Would this be like a stone cutting check to kind of understand what this is?
I would say religion with stone. Well, that depends. Do you want to know what its importance is, or do you want to know?
I want to know what its importance is.
Then that would be religion with stone cutting.
Okay, so add to double the proficiency,
Yeah.
So this will be 2 higher.
Mm-hmm.
So 14.
14?
Yeah.
If you were to have a guess, you would say that this is these deep gnomes' own version of ancestor worship. Now, gnomes of the surface are famous for only having one god that they refuse to talk about, and if you bring it up, they change the subject immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But these deep gnomes seem to have some form of ancestor worship around these stone pillars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably, like I said, some form of ancestor worship, leaving offerings, because it is kind of reminiscent of what dwarves do.
Mm-hmm.
But it is pretty peculiar that you can almost see faces in this. You're not skilled enough in magic to know if there is actually anything to that, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a world with wizards, so.
Okay. After looking over that, like you said, there's a few different gnomes and stuff doing worshiping right now.
Yeah.
Okay. He would try to not disturb anything or anything while he's walking through, but he would kind of go through and observe and give a nod to anyone who would look at him. But mostly he's just trying to head near the hall, but not like he's trying to scope it out kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thankfully, it's not like it's like a closed off quarantine area. It's pretty much open to the public. You do see 2 deep gnome guards by the front door. They're wearing what probably is their approximate of a uniform, but not really armor, and they have sharpened pickaxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically this building right here at the top. It's not any more lavished than any other structure. It's just
bigger.
It's just bigger.
Okay. I'm going to spend probably a good 10, 20 minutes just kind of wandering around the area and just trying to see if I can... is the windows lit at all, or are they completely dark?
They are... Actually, let me look here. Oh, no, there actually is light from here.
Okay, I'm just going to kind of stay around for a little bit. Try not to be too obvious, but as much as I can. Seeing if I can see the outline of any taller individuals kind of making their way around the windows and stuff.
Okay. Roll me a perception, and then we'll cut back to the drunken trio.
Yep. 14.
It takes you a minute, but as you watch, you do see the shadow of a long, lean humanoid figure pass by one of the windows.
Okay.
Definitely not gnome.
Yeah. And there just seems to be one of them.
You'll need to stay here longer to properly track that. Okay. So if you want to do that, we can cut back to the other ones.
I don't want to be here too long and cause a ruckus or make people get suspicious of me just kind of hanging out. So after the time he takes to see that one.
Beauty of it is that the Gallery of the Gods and the hall are right next to each other, so no one really is bothered. You could just as easily be examining the pillars.
Okay, so if I can make it look like I'm not being too obvious about it, he'll stick around and kind of try to gauge what's going on.
So, meanwhile, the other 3, you guys just arrived at Stonecutter's Row. Though they seem like they're starting to close down for the day, there's lots of places where people store the marble. Lots of different not stands, but shops for stonemasons, people who are carving them into tools. Sometimes there's stuff for like a few decorations, and lots of pieces that are polishing it and making it ready for larger scale, like construction uses for traveling.
What are there pickaxes, just regular pickaxes?
They are regular pickaxes, yes. You have not seen an iron vein, but it's reasonable that they might have traded for ore.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
Oh, this is more impressive than I imagined. I have to admit, I've been underground for many, many years exploring, but I've never found a town this big. And now that I see it, I can only wonder, how big is Dammerhall?
Cool. He said this was like pretty standard underground town size.
Yeah, I'm just talking in character.
Yeah.
Dammerhall must be massive.
Well, I don't know what your character has seen before. That's why I said it.
Mm.
Oh, no. I don't know. Gombo, has he found a town like this before?
You considering that you're always looking for something that isn't a pre-established civilization, you probably haven't run into too many deep gnome cities. Most stuff in the Underdark is kind of hostile. Deep gnome settlements are a little bit far in between. It's reasonable to say you haven't been to one if you want to.
Yeah, he's been investigating or trying to find the entrance to Dammerhall, like the lost entrance to Dammerhall. So he's stayed away from established cities, which would have known, you turn left over there and take the second right. So he's been mostly just in caves.
Yeah. This is still a town by anyone's standards, though.
Yeah. It's still bloody impressive.
It's around this time that number 4 you see there, it has another swinging wooden sign. This one is a broken chisel with a tanker of ale behind it.
That I'm intrigued about. He's going to make his way and just kind of peer through the door.
There's no like window on the door, so he's just like opening at a crack to look in.
No, he'll just, open the door and kind of look around.
You open up the door, and immediately it's a much smaller, looks a little older tavern, not an inn, just an actual tavern, than the Blue Bat, but it is just completely packed with deep gnomes that are covered in like stone dust, and every eye in the place just turns to you. Give me an insight real quick. Also a disadvantage because you're still feeling it.
Come on, natural one.
I know, I wanted to get a natural one so bad.
Good enough.
Pretty close.
Yep. Not quite what I was going to say if it was natural one. But, yeah. They just must never have seen a dwarf of your stature before.
Hello, lads. Mind if I have a brew with you?
Everyone's just dead silent.
Shrugs and makes his way in.
What are the other two doing?
Thrum's walking right in. After you, lassie. Let's go. And he's kind of like, hand around the shoulder, Come on, buddy.
All right. You go up to the bar. I kind of
Is it still dead quiet in there?
It's still dead quiet. People are watching you with like drinks in their hands.
As they cross the floor over to the bar and they're walking past tables and stuff, Thrum, as is his way, doesn't stop talking. He's just, oh, lovely place. I love this place. What a good place. What's this place called? Hey, you. It's good to see you. Good to see you too. That's a dirty son of a bitch. Let's keep walking. There's the bar right there. Are we gonna get there? I hope they're cold here. I hope they're as cold as the other place.
And everyone except for Nolgrim, who I did, can give another insight to if you'd like.
You said Nolgrim can, or
no, cannot. You already failed.
Okay, that's fine.
You said you wanted an insight from everyone else.
Yeah. Michael?
Yep.
Disadvantage because you're feeling it.
Oh, shut it.
Oh, I forgot Freya was drunk. Whoa!
So Freya, through the
Female.
slightly in alcohol-induced fog, and probably because you're the only one that didn't take a to-go drink, it occurs to you as you're walking through a place like this that this reminds you of a lot of a couple of taverns in Kazakh Crag that you went to, where all the like off-duty gold miners or of a particular profession would gather together amongst their coworkers to drink when their workday is done, and it kind of becomes like their domain. You're in like the worker bar, and you're just a bunch of weirdos who walked in and acting like you own the place. You're not in danger, but you're just sticking your foot in it.
I don't think we're really supposed to be here. I don't think this place is for us.
Every bar is for me. This place is great. Look at these people around here. Look at him. He has the dirt under both eyes. He looks good. He looks like he could have a drink with a dwarf.
The gnome he points to has an eye patch.
Well, you know what, bud? Knock yourself out.
Knock yourself out. We'll have a round here. A round of the
No, I mean,
round
literally,
black stuff.
he's passed out right now already.
So how many people are in there beyond us? Roughly. Hello?
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 Oh, sorry. I accidentally flicked my mute button on my headphones by accident. It's about 25, almost 30 people. Every table is full. Do you guys swagger up to the bar?
Oh, hell yeah. Thrum does. He's pulling Freya with him. Arm around the shoulder. And I guess Nolgrim led the way already.
A gnome is polishing another marble mug. Goes, don't get a lot of dwarves in the Broken Chisel.
I could tell a fine establishment when I see one. And a fine crew.
Got a lot of appreciation for those who like mining. These look like good, honest folk here who know how to swing a pickaxe. This guy knows how to swing a pickaxe. Yep, saved a bunch of your militiamen when he swung it down on those spider things.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage there, Thrum. You're trying to work the room.
Yeah, I haven't failed yet on a con check. So he's still got his wits about him.
Yeah, the disadvantage is because you're committing social faux pas, so you're already working uphill.
Very bad. Where the hell are the? Oh, there.
Yeah.
Boop, boop.
Nope.
I love that it would have failed even without disadvantage. So, I think I already said we'd love a round of that really good black brew you've got.
Not that we wouldn't mind your coin, but sure you wouldn't be more comfortable at the Blue Bat?
I suppose we can, though I do feel like I would be amiss if I didn't at least show a token of my appreciation for those that know what a true craftsman and a true hard-working job is, and how much would it cost to buy the people in this room a drink, just as a sign of appreciation before we depart?
Before we depart, we haven't even had a drink yet.
A new voice from deep in the room speaks up. It's an extremely old gnome, leaning on a pickaxe, using it like a cane. He goes, "Don't be giving him no trouble." And he's wrinkly and scarred. Goes, "These are the dwarves that got out the sheriff's lot. Get them a drink, and they can be on their way after. And he hobbles all up to you. He goes, I'm Tamir, ever the stone listens. I'm the foreman of the quarry. Always a compliment when a son of the mountain compliments our stonework.
Were you responsible for the crafts of the mugs I've been seeing around this town?
I did. I worked a chisel in the days when my hands were a bit more steady, but these days I just overlook the quarry.
Well, one way or another, it is fine craftsmanship, and trust me, as someone that studies all crafts common to dwarves, I know a good stoneworker when I see one. And I could looks around the room and say, I don't doubt that all of you are masters of the craft.
They're like dead silent. Tamir turns to the rest and goes, the dwarves just paid you a compliment. Say thank you and go back to your drinks. And they all like nod, and then he just stops staring at you. Forgive them. These are troubled times for them.
I've heard whispers of news taking place in this town.
Is he speaking in Undercommon, Dwarven?
He's speaking Dwarven for your benefit.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Scope?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I don't.
Okay. Did you hear what I said, Cope? Did we lose Cope?
Might have lost Scope.
Cope?
Not Cope. He was adequate.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I came back to not Cope, he was adequate.
Good, you didn't miss it.
Okay, sorry guys, I cut a call. I had to pick up.
No worries.
I imagine she's just been waiting outside where you guys are all like, hello, there's...
Yeah, they actually just been meeting the foreman of the mine. Tamir ever a stone listens.
Yeah, I lost a lot of that. The last thing I heard was the guy on a cane walked up and said something, and Loki started talking to him, and that was when my sound blinked out.
Loki basically complimented him, and he said he appreciated the compliment, and then he told everyone in the bar to go back to drinking, and then they all started drinking and stopped staring at you. And said you have to forgive them. These are troubled times.
Yeah, and
So
he
the
was
bar
speaking in
went back
Dwarven.
Yeah, bar went back
Okay.
more to normal. It's in case you hadn't beat together. This guy kind of rules the roost.
Yeah, so the bar went back to chit chat and okay, good. Well, might we have a brew there, Tamir?
He nods to the bartender, and the bartender serves you up.
I cover your own beer as a token of appreciation and appreciation.
Are you saying that to Tamir?
Yeah, the foreman.
Yeah. Good manners are always appreciated. Takes the drink. So, you all passing through?
Yes, we are following the hunt for our homeland, Dammerhall.
Indeed. Can't be too local. I've been around for 108 years. I've never heard of a Dammerhall in Upper Sathir.
It is, out of character, I'm trying to remember the details, but it's lost for several dwarven generations, right?
300 years.
Yep. Yes, it is,
all dwarves.
our ancient homeland, if you will. It's supposed to be somewhere in these mountains, and it is time we seek out our lost glory and all the everything that comes with it, I suppose.
Sounds a bit like you're searching for quartz and marble gravel, if you ask me, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, everybody needs a hobby. And I think this is something that is important, at least to us. Look, I think we are all looking for the best looking for what is the best for our people, even especially in trying times.
I can drink to that. And he takes some drink. You guys can give me your Constitution saving throws again.
While messing around with runes, Freya almost sets off another thunderclap. Doesn't happen. Gotta let you know.
I am curious what you took for your level 2 ability there, Michael, because you can choose an innovation thing for artificers, but I'll talk about that later. I'm just curious. Frickin' Thrum becomes deep drunk.
That's my 4th straight 20 on a or nat
double
20.
20s on an advantaged saving throw. Do you know what the probability of that is?
He's such a good drinker that that Nolgrim sobers up a bit.
I feel like I didn't need to take that trait for Thrum because my self would, roll over into Thrum. And I was right.
Yeah.
So I take it you've heard neither hide nor hair of Dammerhall then, since it is a new word for you.
Not as
or a nameless dwarven ruins.
there'd be any such place. I reckon that would be in Lower Azathyr.
Do you have any recommendations on the best way to get there? I'm sure very few places are safe if we go into a place called the Deep. And it's where our journey is bound to take us.
There's only one way I know of to get into Lower Azathyr. It's through the Great Jumping Off Point. A wide, deep, vertical shaft going down deep into the bowels of the earth. Straight down, and you'll be there.
Hopefully we could find a safer way to go down that doesn't end in a sudden stop.
You just get a great bat, laddie. Great bat, and you grab onto her back and you fly down.
I'll go look at you like he's trying to figure out if you're joking or not.
And Tamir just nods his head and says, I've heard that's how the drow do it.
Fuck the drow. Terrible, crafty, devilish creatures, but I have to say, as much prey as I've studied, you learn what you can from the bad ones. And take with you the good ones. They've got some good tricks.
Freya walks back in. You guys still haven't been kicked out?
No, have a drink, lassie. This is Freya. This is my niece.
Oh, yes, of course, what are my manners? I am Nolgrim Runic, the local archaeologist on our expedition.
I'm Thrum. I'm getting tired.
Well, as I said, if you're wanting to get to Lower Azathyr, the only way I know of is on that point on the far side of the fungal jungle. Of course, you'll need to get past the Drow Fort.
Speaking of, what do you know of the emissary that's visited? What's your...
Oh, yeah, the damn emissary. I thought we were going there.
It is not our job to stir up trouble for these fine folk. But at the same time, if we are more than happy to lend assistance to any friends that may be in need to some extent.
Have you spoken to Mithira at the Blue Bat?
We have.
Then it's unlikely I could tell you anything that you don't already know.
That's fair. But good to at least listen and see what any more information that may have slipped through.
Just been showing the Drow emissary around. apparently wanted to get a tour of the entire town. I made sure it didn't disrupt the quarry work. Now, I do apologize to be rude, but I do believe my workers here are a little bit uncomfortable.
Not to worry, I was actually about to head out to follow my friend, so I appreciate the hospitality you have shown, and it was good meeting you.
May the stones watch over you and your kin.
And may your pickaxe ever strike true.
He nods. And you guys take your leave?
Mm-hmm.
So where's the drunk train going next?
Probably back to the Blue Bat. Unless if, actually it probably depends on what direction Thrum is going at this point. Try to steer him back to the Blue Bat before he gets in trouble.
Yeah, did we ever address with Fergis what happened?
I've just been overlooking the Lord's Hall.
Yeah, he's trying to get an accurate count of how many drow might be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of character. My thing is I'm looking like he wants to know, because if there's just one dignitary, it'd probably be fine to go talk with the Lord. But if there's like 6 or 7 something people, we're probably not going to be able to get in there without some kind of fight happening, whether it be from us or from them. So he's trying to like play the odds.
Yeah. So we'll resolve that in just a second. But where's the drunk train going? I'm just curious.
Thrum is happy to go back to the bat. He's sleepy.
Okay.
He's old. He doesn't have all that piss and vinegar in him. He can't go all night long.
Okay. So you guys head on back. I was just inquiring because if you were going to head to the town hall, I wanted to describe as Fergus saw 3 drunken dwarves ambling towards the hall. Fergus, could you give me an investigation check here?
Another 14?
Your guess is, because you're able to tell that the shadows' shapes are slightly different, there is probably no more than 3 drow.
Okay.
So if you were to wager, you'd probably say a diplomat and maybe an armed escort.
Okay. That's not as bad as I was worried it was going to be, so...
Yeah.
When he does that, he would, he doesn't have any ancestors into the thing, but he would try to, like, do what might seem appropriate to pay respects to the place he's been hanging out around before he leaves, make sure that, he's not doing anything inappropriate, and then just kind of say something small and like reverence, and then wander off back to the bat.
Yeah, their worship seems very free-form, so nothing really sticks out. Yeah. So you're good. And I imagine by this point, everyone's going to just amble into the sheets.
Yep.
First comes back looking as fresh as can be underground, and heads on to bed.
The blankets are certainly interesting because they are made out of woven mushroom fiber fabric, so they are both slippery and itchy at the same time. But
you really know how to make me hate a bed.
Hey, the actual mattress itself is actually better because, like, on the surface, most inns just have like hay, but they use stuffed mushroom caps, so it's actually more squishy. So it's actually
it's bouncy.
So it's actually surprisingly comfortable.
Despite the itchiness.
Like itchy like wool.
Not fair.
And because I can, and because the only benefit of having it, I sleep in my armor.
Yep. We're approaching a pretty good breaking point, but just one last thing I want to do. Fergus, right as you're like just starting to wake up naturally, or just a little bit before, that silent alarm you set in your head just starts going nuts.
As soon as that happens, he's gonna wake up and start pounding on the wall. Company, and he just starts storming out. He's still dressed for everything, so he's just gonna go out ahead of him, but he's gonna make sure to pound on the wall loud enough to wake up anyone who's his neighbor.
Do we need roll perception checks, or is it safe enough to assume that would wake us up?
Let's see.
You know what? No, better yet, I'm gonna blow my horn.
Okay.
I have a horn and I'm trained in it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, no. Yeah, no, you guys wake up.
Even money, it's knifey stealing our cheese.
I bet it is, but he's still panicked,
I don't-
so he's running out.
So
I would
everyone,
take that bet, but I didn't put Eskit away anywhere, so it's probably her rummaging in the turnips. So
so you guys all wake up by the horn blow.
I have it, might as well use it.
Thrum grabs his spear and starts running downstairs.
Long
Alarm
Johns
grabs
and
his,
all.
Axe and shield.
in his skivvies. Nolgrim comes out with his pick. What's going on?
You go down there, and there's Mathia behind the counter. There's a broken bowl on the ground, and she's got like some soup on her front. Like she just woke up. She's like, "Do all dwarfs get up like that?
Like, he
What's
doesn't
going
stop.
on?
Fergus just runs by. Excuse me, pardon me.
What? What's going on? Put some clothes on." She says as Wallace is running past. You go outside, and you see your carts there, and there's Eski in front of your cart, just absolutely covered in gnomish children.
Nice.
Nothing else.
What time is it?
It's like first thing in the morning. You guys got in late in the day. So there's a bunch of these like foot tall or less gnomish kids just climbing all over this yak who just does not care.
All right, don't
False
pull
alarm,
on the
everyone.
Yeah, don't pull on the levers on the bottom, and Thrum will go over and get a turnip and come over and hand it out to Eskit. And meanwhile, he's standing there with his eyes closed and holding a spear in his other hand and just letting Eskit nibble on the turnip, so she's entertained while they're climbing all over her.
Yep. None of them speak a lick of Dwarven or Undercommon, but they understand basics like
So-
handing them.
So, question, Cope, that I just thought about. The cheese. Did it come from our cow?
Yes.
I don't
No,
think
not all of it, because he bought 100 pounds of it. But he does milk Eskit, and that was part of something I'd written in that I haven't done yet. But yes, he does milk Eskit every morning because she is a female yak and mature and has had many litters and
litters.
I don't know.
Calves.
calves, and she needs to be milked, and if y'all want to drink, I mean, I figured that we're drinking that as we go. He doesn't take the cheese out of her milk as we're moving. No, he bought all the ration. But yes, in the mornings we get to have milk.
Now I'm just imagining that scene from Star Wars where Luke drinks the milk from that creature.
Why do people have a problem with that? That was fine.
I mean, I'm not against it. I found it as entertaining as it was meant to be.
I get the point of the scene. It's just to show how he's been surviving on the island by himself. But it's just like the characters going to the bathroom. You don't show the character going to the bathroom. You just assume that it happens.
Yes. I agree with that. And also, things you milk are usually on 4 legs, and that's okay. And you're not doing it into like a sport bottle.
This is where I'm going to call the session because everything else is going to be a little bit more involved. So
No worries.